Bryan into Madison County. This is going to move toward Houston County within the next hour. We're going to watch that one, if it holds together, move toward Nacogdoches. We've got other strong cells up and down the line from Emory to Canton. These are moving to the east right now, not tornadic. Some strong winds are within that cell. But as I freeze this for a second, you can see the extent of that. All right, let's go down and look at the Bryan cell. This one is moving up toward Madisonville. It's moving to the northeast at roughly 40 miles an hour. And again, that one goes until 9:45 for Madison County. And then that would move into Houston County after that. So about 10 o'clock, we could be in a tornado warning in Houston County. This continues moving north and east toward Weldon, Riverside, and Trinity by 9:30. So that's that cell. This one with this hashtag in here has had a tornado observed within that cell. This cell here is moving toward LaRue, Frankston, and Berryville between 9:19 and 9:30. So if you live in LaRue, Frankston, or Berryville, you probably want to head to your shelter now as this strong cell moves into those areas. There's Elkhart just outside of the polygon, and you've got Athens right on the edge of it. So too close to call for Athens. I would head to my shelter right now. If I lived over in Henderson, I'd be keeping an eye on those cells. We go out here to the east. These are non-severe thunderstorms from Carthage to Nacogdoches to center. They are increasing with rain, a few rumbles of thunder within that. This is likely the beginning of what will become a flash flood event throughout the night. So this is just the early genesis of that. We'll watch continued bands of rain start to expand and increase in intensity over this area from Angelina County through Panola and Shelby County all the way up to Shreveport. So this area here is where we're going to be concerned about flash flooding. I'm concerned about winds, strong winds at Emory and Canton within the next 45 minutes. You can see this little structure here starting to push outward. So there are some strong winds now starting to push those storms to the east. Athens is now starting to see some very heavy rainfall. This is why I thought the city, if you lived in Athens, you needed to head to your shelter. This cell, which is currently tornado warned, if it were to hold together, you've got CUNY, you've got Tyler Pounds, and you have the city of Tyler by 9:30. So that's a half hour as this cell races off to the northeast at about 40 miles an hour. Right now, we've been seeing some larger hailstones within this of about golf ball sized hail, plus the possibility of a tornado. It has been strengthening, and it is a tornado warned cell. Right up to the edge of Smith County. So that one, Madison County, and then we go back to the other. Okay, we're going to zoom in on this Anderson County, Henderson County storm right now, and we're looking at green touching red. So where we see green touching red, we know we have winds going in the opposite direction, or at least precipitation, raindrops going in the opposite direction. And when we see that, we know we have turning within that cell. There's a lot of lightning. There's a lot of lightning here, so this tells me this is a very strong mesocyclone right now. It's a very strong thunderstorm, so this certainly has the potential to produce a nighttime tornado. And so we really need you to think about taking your precautions and heading to your shelter. So right there's Red Lake. That's within the polygon. You're going to want to get to your shelter there. That's crossing what appeared, what is this, Highway 84? Going out to the west, and then within that, these are likely hailstones near Young, up to Elmwood, Palestine, likely seeing hail, and that is going to continue crossing and moving to the northeast. So there might be some larger hailstones within that cell. In fact, this was a little bit bigger a little bit ago toward back to the northwest of Langley, just to the southwest of the Tennessee colony. And that was marble to nickel sized hail, but I have seen this uptick as high as $quarter to $half sized hail, and that's within that tornado warned cell. If we go a little bit farther to the north here, and I might be able to pan this for us, we can pan this, and then we'll be able to at least see where that storm is headed. Colleen, can you pan this storm for me just a little bit, give me an idea of where that's headed? All right, so I'll go back to that cell. There, all right, that's good. So we can get rid of that, some of that lightning out of that, and then we can also kind of look inside that storm. So what I need to do here is get rid of our little thing here. There it is. Okay, so there you go. There's Athens, there's Palestine. We're turning this into like these white returns here. Right in here, we're likely getting some hail core just to the east of Athens. And there's Gun Barrel City. So Gun Barrel City is getting right now a tremendous amount of rainfall. And that goes down toward Cayuga, over toward Athens, just to the west of Moore Station and Brownsboro. So we turned off the lightning. There's a lot of lightning with this cell. And then right there, see that little dark black speck? So that's likely a strong hail core. Keeping an eye perhaps in here, there's a little inflow notch coming into that storm south of Athens. So that could be something that we need to watch carefully. And that could possibly start to spin. Look at this lightning. This is tremendous amounts of lightning that we're seeing right now with this cell. And look, goes back toward Winkler. So Winkler right now is just on the western edge of that polygon. So I think really the threat has now moved east of Winkler. And it's essentially, even though Gun Barrel City is not in tornado warning right now, there may be some larger hailstones up there down toward Cuyahoga, over toward Athens and Moore Station. All right, so here is velocity. This is called storm relative velocity. So what we've done with storm relative velocity is we've taken the motion of the storm out of the equation. All right, so we're just purely looking inside the thunderstorm toward Warden Prairie and Fairfield and Burlington. And when we look at that, and we can see that there in Young, there might be a little circulation spinning up around Young. But if we drop that down toward Burlington, that's the one that I want to see right in there toward Burlington. That cell right there, you see how tight that's getting? We have red and green almost bouncing up right against Turlington, I should have said, Turlington. And that Turlington cell, you need to be in your safe place if you're in Turlington. You may start to see some, if it's hitting any kind of power lines, if something's starting to drop down, then we're going to get flashes of power line flashes. And so this is the part of the cell. And look at this lightning. I mean, the lightning is the part that's really starting to I'm looking at, because I know that's strengthening. When we see that amount of lightning and we see that number of flashes, and they're likely all going to be negative flashes, meaning that these are very strong lightning flashes, indicative of one, hail, two, of a very strong updraft into the storm, and it's likely rotating. So with all of that said, there's Highway 84, and that circulation just crossed over. Highway 84 continues moving northeastward. So meteorologist Colleen Campbell is starting to spread this out just a little bit. There's Young. So there's another little circulation there that's curious to look at. And then we have this here. So you've got several different cells moving northeastward, and it wouldn't be out of the question you could have twin tornadoes if they were to touch down, but you have twin circulations, it appears right now, going on there. And that's moving toward Tennessee Colony at about 9:24, Mount Alba at about 9:36, Bradford 9:42, Elmwood at 9:48, and then we had LaRue in there at about 10, right about 9:45. So push that back about 15 minutes, and you get that storm moving toward LaRue by about 10 o'clock this evening. So that's the part of the cell that has the best chance to start rotating and possibly becoming a tornado. Now, we'll be checking with the National Weather Service. There will be some storm spotters out in parts of Anderson County trying to put eyes on that. But again, it's dark. So if you're in Turlington, we need you to be in a shelter. If you're in Red Lake, I want you to be in your shelter. If you're in Harmony, I think it's time to start heading to that shelter. Even the Tennessee Colony, if you're there, you're going to watch this cell possibly move into those areas, even though you're outside the polygon right now. That cell is it's moving at about 40 miles an hour to the northeast. And when we see this, look at this, the bright green right here against that red. So it's starting to tighten up, getting a little bit stronger near Young and also near Turlington. So there's two parts of this cell that are creating concerns for this. And the reason that this was a tornado-warned storm just a few minutes ago, and it seems like it's brightening, seems like it's strengthening also at this time. So that tornado warning goes until 9:15. That's another 12 minutes. But, and that's on this cell here, the one that's headed toward Tennessee Colony. Then you've got that cell that goes until 9:30. That's the one that's crossed into Anderson County and Henderson County. So if you're just joining us, we've got a tornado warning in effect for the northwestern half of Anderson County and the south central portion of Henderson County. City of Athens was right there on the edge of that polygon, and down to Palestine right now is outside of that. But we still have Coffee City within that polygon, so if you're in your shelter, you need to take shelter right now. Okay, that's any one of those views, looking at it from Fort Worth or looking at it from Shreveport. I mean, yes, you are looking into the storm a couple of thousand feet. You're probably looking a little lower when you're looking from the Fort Worth spot, but this is certainly going to be something that has the possibility of producing a tornado. That one does too, and this one here near Fairfield. So all three of these are the possible or the reasons why we are seeing these tornado warnings being issued tonight. So we've got the tornado warnings going on now until 9:15 for those cells near Young and Fairfield, and then that rotation till 9:30 up toward Athens, up into south central portions of Henderson County. All right, so Colleen Campbell zooming that out. And Colleen, that just looks real impressive right now, and this appears to be getting just a little brighter every scan, and so is that one to the east of Crossroads.
Yeah, Brett, and looking on the chat, the National Weather Service chat, Limestone WeatherNet has a delayed report. So the one storm cell that we were looking at that was just about to enter into Anderson and Henderson counties, which is now the one that we have been checking out, over by Mejia. Right? Am I saying that correctly? Mejia. That's the one that had a light pole snapped. So they're just reporting that on Canton Street. So this is the cell that we were looking at to enter into Anderson and Henderson counties. Tornado watch looks like they just continued that. And yeah, for everybody just tuning in here, we have a couple little couplets here that we have been keeping our eye on. The one just outside of Crossroads. There's another one that looks like it's started to kind of dissipate there, but this other one over by Fairfield, that's becoming a little bit broader. But we are under these tornado warnings until further notice. Oh, and it looks like we just got another thunderstorm warning.
Let me click on that and we'll get the update on this one. So this is going to be Van Zandt County. So we just added Van Zandt County to a severe thunderstorm warning until 10 o'clock. And we've got heavy rainfall now moving into Athens. This is likely a wind event here. There's probably some wind gusts closer to 60 miles an hour. All right, we've got a live pic here from the Walmart out in Athens. And you can see just how heavily it's raining and the lightning. I believe, is it Shondell Mendes that's out there? Or is it Ashley French? We have two reporters out in the field here. And now the rain has started outside our studios here. So we've got just a ton of rain coming down. And you can see the flag in the background that's being whipped by the wind, and those winds appear to be coming almost out of the west. So strong winds in that picture just froze there. That's off of this cell, that's off of the tornado warned cell down at Athens, okay? So Athens, tremendous amounts of rain, 173. That was the Walmart parking lot in Athens. You can see how hard it was raining. All right, let's pan this up a little bit and take a look at our, we need to get off, I don't know why we're on the satellite and radar image. Let me go to a different source here. Because what we need from our
Max is
is Max out? Oh, did it freeze?
I think yours did, but we can take Max 2 if you guys want to do that. That may be a little bit easier while Brett's on Max 1. He's restarting that. Okay, so there we go. So here's my storm relative velocity. Again, we're looking at a couple areas here that we have interest in. Henderson County now has this tornado warning. This is the tornado warning that we started cutting in for. So we have a couplet just outside of Athens. Let's zoom in a little bit closer here. So Baxter, the town of New York, LaRue, you really need to get to your safe place right now. You see that red and the green right up against each other, a little bit broader than what we saw earlier, but still definitely rotation in there, enough for this tornado warning to be issued. And you can see that it wants to, we have a couple areas included in this: Coffee City, Moore Station, Chandler, Brownsboro. And if we look at the speed of this, let's see how fast it's going first. That's one of the steps. And then we can see exactly where it's going. So it's going 50 miles per hour. All right, so we know that. And then I'll go ahead and put a storm tracking cone on here so we can see. So just give me 1 second. Hold on tight. And 50 miles per hour, current track that it's going. We would be in Moore Station around 9:22, Chandler 9:32, Tyler Pounds Airport right before 9:40. And again, you want to take this these times. You don't want to kind of go by these times set in stone, but this is a good little guide to go by. 9:45 around Tyler, 9:52 New Chapel Hill, 9:59 Winona, and 10:07 Big Sandy if this storm continued. And again, that is the one that we're looking just south of Athens. I think I read a moment ago over in National Weather Service that it was about 15 miles south of Athens. I'm sure it's a little bit closer than that now. So let's see if we can get a ruler on this and see exactly how far south. Baxter, you should be in your safe place right now as we speak. New York, LaRue, you should all be in your safe place. You are under a tornado warning. So let me get this other thing off of here and then we will get moving.
Yeah, so these tornado warnings were issued just a few minutes ago. We've been watching the cells very carefully. And one of these rotations is now just to the west and southwest of the Tennessee colony here. So if we go back to Max 1, I'll be able to show you where that one is. And so we'll show you where that's the hail core right now on that estimated hail size. But let's go back over to Max 1. And on Max 1, we'll be able to show you that circulation right now on our velocity scan. So here it is. There's the Tennessee colony. We've got the bright green against the bright red. So right in here, that is now cleared Turlington. So if you're listening to us from Turlington, you're all clear. You can come out. Red Lake, you're fine. Young, I believe you're fine. If you're in the Tennessee colony, you're in Harmony, you're in Mount Alba, I would head to shelter right now and then up toward noonday and also to the north and to the northeast. This tornado warning now has been extended till 9:45, so that's a little bit longer and later than what we had before. So these are new tornado warnings that have just come out in the last few minutes, and that goes until 9:45 for Anderson. Henderson has been included in that. Looks like the Anderson County tornado warning was extended, and yes, it was up toward Bradford and also Crossroads and over toward Moore Station at this time. So it looks like I want to zoom in here on Athens, and I'm going to take off the lightning here. And Colleen, I'll go back over to the wall, and we'll point out some of these like really tight couplets here.
Okay.
So folks can kind of get, and then maybe we can put a track on these also so we know where these are headed. So what we're using here is storm relative velocity. So we're taking the motion of the storm out. So these storms are essentially moving from the southwest to the northeast at 40 miles an hour. So we take that motion out and we look at the precipitation within the cell itself, and then we can see just what's happening with not the wind. The Doppler radar product is really looking at the precipitation within that cell. And so it sees rain coming toward the radar in green and away from the radar in red. So this is likely using the Shreveport National Weather Service radar. But you can notice it's sort of split between the Dallas-Fort Worth radar site and also the Shreveport radar site. And that purple area is what we call range folding. So that's where the signal itself or the radar beam is being bent down toward the ground. And so we don't get a good view of from one direction of what's happening inside that cell. That's why we're looking at it from two different directions. So it's likely this one's being folded down. We look back at it from the Shreveport site and we see it a little bit better. So that's headed toward Brownsboro at 9:29, Chandler at 9:40, Tyler Pounds Airport in play here at 9:48, and the city of Tyler at about 10 o'clock, and then on up toward Owenton. So these are any of these couplets here, and they are strong enough that they could produce a quick spin up. So this is the type, a scary type of setup, but I don't want everybody to be too scared. I mean, if you're in your shelter and you're in your safe place, you'll be A-okay. And I know some kids have some anxiety over this. You're going to be okay. We're going to walk you through this. Colleen Campbell and myself will take you through all of these storms. We'll make sure you come out on the other side and you're going to be okay, all right? So, you know, I know we're a little, you know, kind of, we need to be just sort of impressing upon you that this is serious. But at the same time, we're going to be okay. If we're in our shelter, we're fine. That's just to the southeast of Malakoff and northwest of Bradford. And that looks like that's gotten just a little bit tighter. So we'll keep watching that. What we'll probably do at some point here is try to turn on what we call our coalition or correlation coefficient. And when we do that, we're going to be able to see if there's any debris being picked up. Last year, the Mount Enterprise tornado, we were able to see the trees that were being picked up by that cell. And so there's a possibility that if we get anything in there, now this could be hail, but when we get down to these little green areas here, this could be some non-meteorological products, meaning those could be little branches, maybe a tree limb or something like that near the Tennessee colony. So this is why we need to take this cell very seriously. And then likely in that yellow, these are probably just lots of hail. There's probably a lot of hail within that cell also.
Brett, you want me to go to the hail size next and see? Okay.
Yeah, let's check that out. And you can see, so there is hail there.
Larger, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
back to nickel size.
It's come up to nickel, almost pushing quarters there. So, and that's right there. So when we see the hail or the hail size grow, we know we've got a stronger updraft. We know the thunderstorm is increasing. Now, if Colleen puts lightning back onto this, we may really see a lot of lightning, and that's really going to tell us, one, we've got heavy rainfall. Two, again, a strengthening mesocyclone or a strengthening rotating supercell. And 3, you've got a system that could be producing something very strong. Now, it just weakened a little bit. So when the hail core comes down, the updraft is weakening, and so the overall cell should be weakening. And we would look to see what that lightning is going to do next. But right now, that lightning is holding steady where it is. So these tornado warnings continue till 9:45, and that is going to be all of Anderson County. So that was extended. We had Henderson County until 9:30 and a portion of Anderson County till 9:30. But the rest of that went and got extended up to the north and to the northeast. All right, so let's go back to the radar product and look at our, okay, that's going to be the debris tracker. Here's velocity. We've been looking at velocity. That was the one part of the cell that's now moved out of that area where we were tracking velocity. And there are 2 main cells. So this one down here that's moved out of Bryan now becomes a player possibly in Houston County. So if you live in Houston or Trinity County and you're watching us from down there, Grapeland, Crockett, start thinking about where you're going to go for your shelter, because within a few minutes, this will move northeastward, and then we're going to have a tornado warning in Houston County. And then as we come back up toward Anderson County, right there, so now we're getting awfully close to Smith County. We're right on the border of Smith County, right on the corner of Cherokee County. So Colleen, I expect us to see a Smith County tornado warning and a Cherokee County tornado warning here within the next few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coffee City is kind of right in between those 2 areas. Still seeing a lot of rain, frequent lightning out that region. Out by Moore Station, they are included in that tornado warning. But yeah, as Brett was saying here, Smith County and far northern Cherokee County likely to be part of these tornado warnings soon. And then in addition to that, we have 3 tornado warnings active right now over in Palestine County, and then Henderson County, or excuse me, not Palestine County, Anderson County, Henderson County, and Houston County. The one over in Anderson County, it looks like would move into northern Cherokee County, and then of course Anderson County moving into northern Smith County.
Yeah, and I would think right here from Tyler to White House to Troop. So if you're watching us there, we're just kind of giving you an upstream warning. There are no warnings currently in southern parts of Smith County, including the city of Tyler, White House, or Troop. But with the current motion of these storms and as fast as they moved out of Freestone County and then moved over into Palestine or into Anderson County and over into Henderson County, that just gives me an indication that we might be about 15 minutes away or less from having Smith County in a tornado warning and northern Cherokee County in a tornado warning. All right, so let's go back to velocity and try to we'll get the lightning out of there, and then we'll try to, for what, kind of pinpoint a couple of couplets that we would be concerned about. And there are certainly a few of those around here. And if I need to step off screen, just let me know, Colleen, as you zoom around.
Okay, let's start from the bottom, I guess.
Okay, yeah, let's go down here to Madisonville.
So this is the one that's currently not in our DMA, but we have our eye on because Houston County, this could extend into your region. And it looks like my mouse is just freezing. Hold on, there it goes.
It might be me on the wall. All right, yeah. So that one's headed toward Lovelady, Cut, and Crockett, and that could be there within the next half hour to 45 minutes.
So that one's pretty broad, but just stay on your toes, Houston County. And then this one is the one that we were looking at just a moment ago in Tennessee County, Colony, which they had National Weather Service Emergency Management reporting a brief nickel-sized hail, which we did go over that with the hail reader not too long ago. So Tennessee Colony just had that hail.
So a little bit of hail there. Then Blackfoot, I would, if I'm in Blackfoot, I'm in my shelter right now. If I'm in Tennessee Colony, I'm certainly in my shelter. Our hope here is that, yeah, we get a lot of these signatures that say something's spinning in the atmosphere, something's spinning in those clouds, but we get nothing that touches the surface. That would be ideal here. If we could have these cells move through and the whole night would just be, you know, spinning supercells without anything touching down. I mean, that would be the best case scenario. Then we'd have no damage, we'd have no injuries, we'd have nothing like that. So there's Highway 19. So this one near Blackfoot is going to cross over Highway 19 within the next few minutes. So if you live up or down or near Highway 19, let's find shelter. Blackfoot right now, I'd find shelter too, just because that storm is passing awfully close to you. And then I think as we go up toward to Frankston, to the northeast, on that northeastern corner, I thought I saw another, right in here, another near Coffee City. It seems like kind of and look at that back there. We're getting a nice tight rotation between Baxter and is that Athens out here back to the west?
Yeah.
So you got a tight rotation, and that has just prompted that tornado warning until 9:30. and that's headed toward New York and more stations, so I would certainly head for shelter there. Leagueville, Opelika, Murchison is outside the polygon. Let's watch it carefully. We need to watch that one. Baxter, you need to be in your safe place right now. So we're looking at those winds going away and toward the radar here, and this is a good indication of the possibility that you could get something to touch down. There's probably, Colleen, just a lot of now wind, and so even if there's wind shear, of course the velocity is going to see that, and if it's a lot of just blowing wind from a thunderstorm, then we're going to see that, and it's going to pick it up as possibly a couplet. It looks like these are fairly broad. We want these to be probably 1 to 2 miles wide if we're going to have some sort of tornado, but these appear to be a little wider than that, but not by much. So again, that's why we have these concerns for these cells. But that one right now, west of Moore Station toward LaRue. And let's go back to reflectivity. Sometimes on reflectivity, we can see what we'll call signature hook echoes with this. I don't see anything like that. Again, sometimes you can get rain-wrapped tornadoes, and those can be especially dangerous. We'll take off the lightning, we'll widen it out here, and then what we'll do is we'll put it into motion. Let's watch these things spin across the area. So if we play that back over the last couple of hours and just kind of loop this. So yeah, look at this one. Wow. So that's the one that's moved into northwestern Anderson County, and this thing is spinning. Look at that. And then here's where I'd be a little concerned. We're getting a little inflow notch, so we're trying to tighten that up right in there, northwest of Palestine. Let's see, let's do a little quick analysis here. We've got another little discrete cell that's popped out ahead of that toward Coffee City. So this is another one that needs to be watched carefully. That'll move up into southern Smith County. And then we're over toward Martins Mill here with this other cell, which is a severe thunderstorm warning out in Van Zandt County, and that goes until 10 o'clock. And then you've got Grand Saline and Van. All right, so we're going to go over to Aaron Baker, and he's got the Henderson County Fire Marshal to talk to, right, Aaron?
Yeah, Brett. I have Shane Renberg, like you said, Henderson County Fire Marshal. Shane, can you hear us on the phone right now?
Yes, sir, I can.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Can you set the scene for us a little bit? Tell us what's going on out there so far?
Here in Henderson, actually, right now, the lights are flickering off and on, so we're having a little bit of trouble keeping all of our computers up. But right now, I'm just getting reports from the different fire departments and spotters that we have in the area. They are seeing some, sky rotation, but we aren't seeing anything on the ground at this time, just heavy winds and a lot of rain.
Gotcha. And do you guys have any shelters that we should know about here at CBS 19 or our viewers should know about for people that need to shelter?
We don't have any shelters open at this time, but we do have a list of shelters that we can get up and going at any time if we need them. And if anybody needed any information from us about shelters, they're more than welcome to call up here and talk to us. So we're going to be here throughout the night as long as these storms are here.
Oh, wonderful. Can I get that number from you while we're on air right now, just so people have it?
Yes, sir. They can call the Fire Marshal's office at 903-675-6157 if they need questions about shelters. But like I said, at this time, we do not have any open. But if we do need to, we will be reaching out to everybody on our Fire Marshal's office and Emergency Management Facebook page, as well as the Henderson County Facebook page. If people can just keep an eye on that, we will put a list of those shelters on there if the need arises to open them.
Yeah, definitely important to stay updated on social media. Just to recap something you mentioned a second ago, you talked about the power flickering. How long has that been happening?
Actually, right now, for about the last 5 minutes, we are actually right now sitting in the dark, but it's coming off and on, back and forth. So I haven't had any reports from any other parts of the counties, but those reports are actually trying to come in on my phone right now from different fire departments. So.
Perfect. Shane Renberg, thank you so much from the update from Henderson County. I just want to recap that phone number as well. For people that do have questions, that number is 903-675-6157 if you're in Henderson County. That'll direct you to the Fire Marshal's office for any future questions. Shane, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Brett, I'll hand it back to you. I know you guys are keeping a close eye on these storms. Looks like, as you were mentioning, there are 3 areas that you're keeping a close eye on, at least 3 areas right now in Henderson County, Houston County, and then
Anderson County,
Anderson as well,
which is about to move into Smith County. But take a look at if we can pull up our Skycam from outside the CBS 19 studio camera here. We've just noticed a lot of lightning that has been flashing on that camera. And if we take that here, you're going to be able to see that. Meantime, what you're looking at right now is our CBS 19 radar. We have this put into motion, and here's Tyler, and Tyler is just now about ready to get hit with a lot of rain. So that's pointed off to the southwest. If we pointed that, yeah, right in there. So that's pointed now more to the, west. So this is more westerly looking, down the loop, looking west over the loop toward the southwest, toward the north, actually said west to the northeast, northwest is where that would be pointed. Anyway, there's a massive cell coming in to Smith County right now. Hopefully the lightning flashes again. You might see what could be a shelf cloud on the leading edge of that. I'm kind of making that out right now a little bit. I don't know, Colleen, can you see that, the shelf cloud feature there at the bottom?
I tried zooming in, but I think that made it even worse when I zoom. If I zoom out, you can see it better, actually.
Yeah.
I wish I had a tool to draw on here. I'm trying to see.
Here, you could use this one right here. I think if we can, we got another tornado warning. Let's see, we got a new tornado warning that just popped up, and this is going to be for Van Zandt County. So we now.
Oh, okay, so that severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, that severe thunderstorm went tornadic, so that's Van Zandt County, and that now goes till 9:45. So we've got a tornado warning for Van Zandt County till 9:45. So that's the cell here that just popped up on our warning. That's just west of Chandler. So that's this portion of the cell that was a severe thunderstorm warning. It's now a tornado warning, and it looks like it also includes a portion of Henderson County. So we have Henderson and Van Zandt. That's Interstate 20. It's southwest of Interstate 20, west of Chandler. It's right in here. If there is anything in there, that's going to be a rain-wrapped nighttime tornado. So certainly time to head to the shelter in Chandler, which is already inside a polygon there. Athens, you've cleared, okay? Athens, you're okay. Log Cabin, you're okay. Storm has moved to your east. It's not going to back up and suddenly go this way. These are starting to progress eastward and also to the northeast. So this new tornado warning for Van Zandt and northern Henderson County till 9:45, and that one down in Anderson County goes until 9:30. This is Smith County here. There's Tyler, White House. There's Highway 69 going north, Lindale right in here. So this is about to move right into the city of Lindale. If you know where that Quick Trip is and the Cracker Barrel, so it's right there, just about ready to move across those areas and head eastward over toward Winona as it continues pushing off to the east. And then Tyler, right now the city of Tyler is probably just making it out to the airport around Pounds right now, down toward White House, coming up from the south, from Jacksonville, and then White House, we'll see those in a few minutes. So that's what we have going on right now. So let's take a look and let's see, that went back to the satellite and radar image again, and I think, I know why, because we're switching off of this other thing. All right, let's go to velocity. I'll widen this out a little bit here and possibly see what we've got. I can hear the rain right now coming down. All right, so these are the areas of concern. Right now, Canton, okay, that's southeastern portion of Van Zandt County near Edom, okay. So that's one circulation there. Then the one over by Chandler, this one back here toward Moore Station, and we go to a third tornado warning here this evening, and this one looks a little bit stronger. So that's going to be just west of Highway 19. So anything from the Weather Service?
No, that just the tornado warning that was radar indicated. That's saying that's the one for Henderson and Van Zandt that goes till 9:45.
Oh, okay.
That's saying that they're having inch-sized hail. Brownsboro, 13 miles northeast of Athens, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. That's the one that came out a couple minutes ago, 9:23.
All right, so the one up toward Henderson County, right in here.
Yeah, the one that Chandler's kind of.
So this one has larger hail with it.
Yeah.
Which we can. Oh yeah, we can see that in there. All right, so there's some larger hail. Let's see. Let's go to. I was looking for the precip type. There's some hail inside that. We'll go back to reflectivity. I'll turn off the sweeping radar here, and we'll go down to the hail sizes and see where we got. That doesn't look, yeah. Sometimes the hail that can be kind of tough to pick up on. Certainly some hail tracks within that, so there's some hail coming up and down through there. All right, so I'll widen that out a little bit. So Right now, we've got the tornado warnings going until 9:45 and 9:30.
Hey, Brett, and
yeah.
I wanted to give a shout out to our radio partners. They wanted us to remind everybody that we are also live on the air right now through our radio partners. This includes 106.5 Jack FM, Kicks 105.7, 104.1 The Ranch, and La Infarosa 96.7. So we are live on the air. As long as we're live on the air here, we're also cutting in over the radio thanks to our radio partners. They are very kind to get this information out. So anybody that is out on the road that you're listening right now, make sure, please, if you have a tornado warning in your area, which we have a couple of them right now. We have over in Anderson County, down by Houston County, I believe that warning is still going on. And now Van Zandt County, they're the newest ones. If you're driving and you're listening to us right now and it's dark out, you see heavy rain, you see hail and the gusty winds, please pull over and take some kind of shelter somewhere. Do not go under an overpass. It is not a good idea. Winds strengthen under those overpasses and it can become pretty strong there. So again, thank you to our radio partners for allowing us to cut in. And we're going to be live on the air until these tornado warnings expire.
Yeah, and right now that's going to at least take us till 9:45. Let's take another look outside from our CBS 19 studio camera where we continue to pick up vivid lightning strikes and we can hear the heavy rainfall on the roof of our studio right now. You can see Loop and a troop in the Loop currently very wet with heavy rain. The clouds themselves look like they're almost scraping the ground. And down back over toward the horizon, you really see that when the lightning flashes, you can really see the extent of the low cloud deck that's moving in here. So that's indicative of some very strong thunderstorms. Also, I don't know if I step out, can you put me on over top of this? I wanted to point out something here that I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is, I think, all right, we can go back to radar. Now, I'm going to step back in.
Skycam.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we can put the Skycam behind me, because I'm going to show you something that I think we're seeing here as these cells are starting to move in. We talked about the possibility of a shelf cloud or the leading edge where the colder air is rushing out of the thunderstorm and meeting the warmer, more humid air. It creates what a shelf-like appearance of the cloud. Sometimes those are confused with or sometimes referred to as wall clouds. They are not. They are cool outflow from thunderstorms, and they give that appearance like that. So,
hey, Brett, they said they need to put on Max 2 first. So
yeah,
they're going to quickly put on Max 2 here, but I even have something to show on Max 2 while they do that. So we'll go into Max 2, and then we'll take the camera from outside our CBS 19 studio. Look at that, out by Martinsville, not the tightest, but we still have those red and greens right up next to each other. So that portion, that's Van Zandt, a small portion of Van Zandt County, right by Van, is under this tornado warning until 9:45, and then just north of Brownsboro, this is the storm that's we're likely seeing in the distance there on our camera. Also in Teesville, they also have a little rotation there too, but that is not a warned storm. But that's probably the storm that we're seeing right now just by New Harmony. And let me zoom in a little closer here. Redland, Tyler Pounds. Yeah, Tyler Pounds is up next. So.
Yeah, so that's going to move into the Tyler Pounds area. And then you were talking about the one east of Martinsville and just northeast of Murchison. And then just south of Noonday, if we pan up a little bit, we'll see that the Titan indicator. And on that Titan indicator, as we go pan up toward so we can see, there it is, toward Moore Station. And then click on the orange, the spinning orange Titan indicator. And hopefully we'll be able to get let's say, so what we got on? We got a low tornado impact. The wind impact off of this is near a 9. So what we're doing is we're looking inside the thunderstorm. So it's certainly picking up some strong wind gusts. The hail impact is there. The flooding impact's a medium. We're not seeing the probability of any severe hail. And the max hail size right now is just around nickel, maybe dime to nickel sized, and that is about it. That storm's moving northeast at 31 miles an hour. All right, let's go to the Skycam. I want to show you what we're seeing here as this cell moves in, and it's right in here. Okay, so I don't know if you can make out this sort of brightish. So that's the shelf cloud, all right? So the thunderstorm extends above that, probably several thousand feet in the air, maybe a couple, 20, 30, maybe 40, 50,000 feet. There's cold air at the top, that rushes down, right? It's more dense, falls down through the thunderstorm. It falls out. There's warm, humid air flowing in, so inflow coming in. Where they meet, they form this shelf-like appearance, sometimes looks like a flying saucer. And that's what we're seeing coming into Tyler from the west and from the southwest right now. Not a wall cloud, but a shelf cloud announcing the presence of some very strong winds likely being transferred from aloft down to the surface, and there may also be some hail inside there. So that's a real impressive structure that we're able to see thanks to just a bit of reflectivity off of the wet streets and the flashes of lightning from time to time. All right, let's go back to the radar here tonight. Again, we have a tornado warning. And Colleen, do you want to go over the tornado warnings, what's currently in place? Or I can? Oh,
No, I can do it.
Okay.
Do we mind if we switch over to Max 2?
Yeah, let me go over this new thunderstorm warning. We just had a new severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like that is for
Mineola, yeah.
Wood and Upshur County and also Camp County now. So we have Camp. We've got
Max
on Max
2,
1,
please.
Max 1
yeah.
on the severe thunderstorm warning. So we've got Upshur, Wood, Camp, Franklin, and probably a little piece of Hopkins, and also Titus. So Camp, Titus, there's a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings now coming out with this cell. Again, this has a possible tornado tag on it, where you see that dashed line. I'll point that out here in just a second, and then we'll go back over to Max 2 and Colleen here in just a second. So you can see these little dashed lines. I don't know if you can see those here. And I'll step off, and then hopefully I can step back in so I can point out what's going on here. All right, so I'll step back out. So put me back on air so we can see. There we go. Okay, so these dash lines. All right, so that tells us that there is a tornado possible with that cell. All right, severe thunderstorm warning, it gets a tornado possible tag. Likely right here, you can see this little notch. So there's inflow, there's outflow, so there's a little turning by Mineola. Also up here to the northwestern portion of Wood County, and it's north of I-20. So that's going up to the north of Mineola. There's Gilmer, so this does not include the city of Gilmer. Pittsburgh is included in that. Titus County, Camp County. We got Franklin County in that, Hopkins, and then Wood and Upshur County. Looks like a portion of Upshur County.
Here
and
it
that
goes.
until that's until 10:15. So those are the newest severe thunderstorm warning has us under severe thunderstorm warning till 10:15 for Wood and Upshur County, and that includes the city of Mineola. So if you're in Mineola right now, you're getting heavy rainfall, and you are under the possibility that we could see a quick spin up, so please be careful. All right, so we're going to go over to Max 2, and Colleen's going to take you through the latest warnings over there.
All right. There we go. And we're still Max 1.
Yeah. All right, Max 2 is up.
Okay, all right. So going over the tornado warnings that we currently have, we have this one over in Henderson County that expires at 9:45. And then we also have the tornado warning that's the one that I was just talking about. And then we also have the severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 10:15. I believe we're still on Max.
Yeah, you got to run Max 2 from back there. You're
okay.
operating
I got
Max
to run
1.
off of this computer? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So sorry, everybody. Working off two computers here. Okay. So we have the tornado warning for Henderson County, and then we also have these two severe thunderstorm warnings, one of which has a hatched area. The severe thunderstorm warning that's hatched, actually both of them are now hatched.
Yeah, they just added the severe thunderstorm warning for Smith County till 9:45.
Okay, all right. So if you are in Tyler, Starville, Big Sandy, Gilmer, Lindale, it's right on top of you right now. It's not a tornado warning quite yet, but you can see there is a little bit of rotation. I'm going to click on this here. Just outside of Noonday. This is the cell that Brett was just talking about a moment ago. I'm going to click on this guy, and you can see probability of hail 90%. Moving northeast at 31 miles per hour. Tornado impact 1.2, which is a little bit lower. But it is a hatched area, so that means there's a 10% chance or greater that a tornado could occur 25 miles within any point where this box is, and it's hatched, actually both these boxes. So areas like Mineola, Quitman, Winsboro, Pittsburgh, you still have a bit. You have time right now to get into your safe place. Yes, this is just a severe thunderstorm warning, but there's a tornado warning not too far away. Still this small little area that's in Van Zandt County that's under a tornado warning. And that goes until 9:45. So we're about 7 minutes away until that one expiring. We'll see if they choose to expand that tornado warning because, as we said here, these two areas are hatched, so they can easily expand that tornado warning. And let's go into velocities to see if we can pick anything up.
West of Lindale there near 20, that one looks, that's decent.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see with the
Yeah, it looks pretty
banding going
broad.
on, but
Near Van.
and also over here by Mineola, it looks like a little bit, but
Yeah, you know, this time of night, it's just so tough to sometimes see, and you have to rely sometimes on the flashes of lightning. We want you to kind of be a little extra cautious tonight and shelter up. If we come back over to Max 1, I'm going to walk you through this latest severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Smith County. This goes now till 10:15. So that's moving into White House at 9:40. So it's right on the doorstep of White House. Hawkins here in about 6 minutes. Overton in about 20 minutes. Gilmer in about a half hour. Longview in about a half hour to 40 minutes, Lone Star in about 45 minutes, and Hallsville, I think, in about 50 minutes from now. So anywhere along this line, we've got some gusty winds. So at least radar is indicating that there could be some 55 to 60 mile an hour winds. There may also be some larger hail, though we haven't seen a lot of large hail within these cells tonight. That's been kind of the surprising thing, is that this type of atmosphere is real conducive to getting those updrafts or those thunderstorms to turn, creating strong updrafts, which then keeps hailstones suspended until they get too large and they fall out the bottom as a larger hailstone. We just haven't really seen that. So what we've essentially seen is this is sort of what we'll call a high shear event, meaning at the surface we have southeasterly winds, right? And then aloft we have south and even north or west-northwest winds. So it creates this sort of natural turning the higher we go up into the atmosphere. So National Weather Service meteorologists are looking at this with the National Weather Service radar. Got a new tornado warning here, so let me click on that for us and call that one up and see what this is. So this is a new tornado warning. This just popped up now. And let's see, Colleen, maybe you can click on that and kind of get me started here. I'm just going to kind of click on, there it is. So this is going to be, okay, that's into Houston County. So Houston County now
so
under.
that's the one we were looking at earlier.
Yeah, that was the one near Madisonville. So this takes us till 10:30. So we have this tornado warning now till 10:30. This cell here has been a very powerful cell when it was down by Bryan. So it's lasted all this along Highway 190. This one, if you live in other parts of southern parts of Houston County and even into Angelina County, this may be a player and may keep us on the air well past midnight, because this is going to continue moving north and eastward. It's got some big hail inside of it. That's Highway 45. There's Madisonville. This is crossing Highway 45 down to Huntsville and Sam Houston State University. It's going to stay north of there, also north of Riverside. There's Grapeland, so we got to watch Grapeland. If you live in Grapeland, you're probably right now. I got to think about, where do I shelter? And here's another tornado warning now that's just popped up. And so this is a new one that just.
Oh, this might be the one over in Anderson County. Let's
Okay,
see.
so this is going to be. Oh yeah, so is that Anderson County? So this is going to go till 10:15.
Henderson, yeah,
Oh, Henderson. Okay.
I always get the two mixed up.
So was that there's so many now firing up here. So I believe that was a severe thunderstorm warning that they've upgraded to a tornado warning, or
Correct.
is this an
Yeah.
Okay.
So about 10 miles west of Frankston or 13 miles southeast of Athens. So yeah, this was I think that was that warning that was a little bit smaller, and then.
Sure. But
and
it's essentially right in here, I think, is what we're looking at. It looks like we're getting some
Yeah,
sort
that
of.
notching right
Yeah.
south of Moore Station.
Right, yeah, and you know, sometimes, I mean, when you, on reflectivity, when
see
you
if I can
see it,
circle
pick
it.
it up a little bit better like this, when you go to eventually go to velocity, then you might be able to see it a little bit better. But that is certainly a strong inflow into the storm here. And then this looks like this might be some sort of rear flank downdraft trying to develop, where the winds are rushing out and around. So let's see if this tightens up. If we get into what we call TVS, or Tornadic Vortex signature, we had a couple of those textbook ones last year on a couple of cells. Well, then we'd have a definite tornado. But this is trying to do a little more than that. So if you're in Frankston, please shelter. Moore Station, you should already be sheltered. Frankston, please shelter. Colleen, let's track that. I'm going to stay off screen here.
Okay.
And let's track
Zoom
that
out a little
from
bit
where you
first.
circled that notch. So there's Pointer, there's Frankston. I believe this is going to move over toward the Mount Selman area. This could move into northern Cherokee County.
Now they're saying this is moving around 50 miles per hour. So
I would not doubt it. I mean, these are really starting to pick up steam here tonight. So because what's happening is the winds aloft, the steering winds on these thunderstorms are now starting to increase, and there is a possibility these could go even faster than 50 miles an hour. So Colleen's laying out this the cone here.
I went a little further south than I wanted it to. Hold on, let me do
That's
that
okay.
again.
I think there could be, if it turns to the right at all, then I think we've covered that. So you're looking at Pointer in about 3 minutes, noonday, just after 10 o'clock. Coffee City in about 11 minutes. I know I skipped over that. Tyler at 10:15. This is another portion of another cell that would move into Tyler. We had Tyler just get kind of walloped by an earlier thunderstorm. New Chapel Hill 10:22, Winona 10:32, and then Liberty City at 10:42 if this holds together. So this would cross all across Smith County and then move into Gregg County. All right, let's go over to Aaron Baker. He's got an update from the news desk. Aaron?
Yeah, Brad, I'm talking to Heath Murph right now, who's the Emergency Management Coordinator for Houston County. Heath, can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Oh, perfect. Can you give us an idea of what you're seeing out there so far? I know we're tracking a tornado warning that's moving into Houston County right now.
Well, I'm here in Crockett and center of the county. So, of course, with the Van Dark, we're not seeing a lot of lightning or anything. Right now, it's breezy, but not even raining at the moment. But it looks like radar is showing it. A supercell coming up from Madison County into our southwest end of our county. So our people down in Weldon and Lovelady, we're hoping that they're getting the word and taking shelter, not trying to, hopefully they take a shelter in secure places. We've opened up the Crockett Civic Center there in Crockett as an evacuation shelter. So we've got about 17 or 18 people up there at the moment, I believe.
And just for our viewers' reference, you mentioned the shelter. Can I get you just to say that one more time for people that can safely make it to that shelter, where they can go?
Yeah, so in Crockett, it's 1100 Edmondson Drive in Crockett. Like I said, we don't recommend anybody getting out trying to drive in the storm. But if you're, I guess, to the northeast side of the storm coming in, so our northern end of the county, you've got time to seek shelter. Those folks that are in RVs or trailer houses or something that's not as sturdy, you're more welcome to join us there at the Civic Center.
Perfect. And for those people that are there, what's the best way viewers can stay updated? Are you utilizing social platforms or anything like that, a website perhaps?
Yeah, so a lot of the county website, Facebook, some of our fire departments, volunteer fire department stuff have social media. Everybody's been trying to push the word out. And of course, they can always reach me at my office or on my cell phone and try to get them in the right direction.
Perfect. Heath Murph, Emergency Management Coordinator in Houston County. Thank you so much for your time. Brett, we were tracking that storm, and you still are, that tornado warning that's moving into Houston County. And one of the biggest things that we wanted to emphasize is as long as you can safely get to the shelter, do so, but don't do it right as this tornado warning's coming in, obviously.
Yeah, right. It is better to be sheltered where you are, even if you may be in a mobile home. And we want you to, of course, try to leave a mobile home when the watch is issued, not during the warning. But to leave a structure is more dangerous than to remain at least sheltered. Get in, get down, get covered. That's the best thing to remember. So if you're in and you're down and you're covered, you're safer than if you try to go outside to run to a different shelter. Certainly do not want you to get into your car and try to drive to a different shelter. Tornadoes can toss cars a quarter of a mile. You're inside that car, that's dangerous, could be deadly. That's the cell that Aaron was just talking about that's moving into Houston County. This is a spinner. There's a ton of lightning with it. This is a very strong storm. This other strong storm has moved into eastern portions of Henderson County and is now moving into Smith County, Wood, Upshur County. We also have Camp, we have Titus, we have Franklin County, all under severe thunderstorm warnings at this time. Any of these could go tornadic in a second, so that needs to be respected. Northern Cherokee County right now, not in any type of warning at this time. Anderson County, we do have that warning, and then look at this down here starting to grow back, and this is going to move up toward Palestine and Jacksonville. If you were watching at 5 and 6, I thought at 5, I said we had about 12 hours to go. It was sort of the length of a tropical storm as it moves across. This is a powerful, slow-moving, large storm. And so this is all starting to come together. Again, down here from Nacogdoches to Lufkin, general rain showers right now, but it's priming the pump. It's moistening the surface. And then when heavy rain, which we expect, this is round 2. So this is round 1. This is round 2, believe it or not, that will blossom and grow in the overnight hours. And between 1 and 5 a.m., we will find some very heavy rainfall. Flash flooding will be possible at that time. So this cell will continue moving northward along Interstate 20 with the possibility of having tornado warnings.
Sorry,
Take a look at the rainfall forecast. That rainfall forecast was 5 to 7 inches over deep East Texas. All right, so let's zoom in on this, these areas here. And what we'll look at here in Smith County and parts of Wood County is just the amount of lightning that we're seeing. And before we toss it over to Aaron, I just want to point this out here west of White House here. We have another sort of inflow notch trying to develop down toward Teaselsville and back here toward Moore Station. This is another area. Look at the lightning. So we need to watch that very carefully near Pointer and Coffee City. I don't have the warnings turned on. Colleen, if you turn the warnings on for us, we might be able to get the latest on that. Okay, so that's still that tornado-warned portion of the storm, and Henderson still has this tornado-warned portion of the storm. And this is going to take us until 9:45 or 10:15.
10:15, yeah.
So 10:15. So this near LaRue, this could, again, this is one of these situations where we haven't heard of anything touching down, but looking at that thunderstorm and looking at it using dual pole radar, meaning that it's using dual polarity. It's scanning not only vertically but horizontally inside the cloud. And so it's seeing raindrops that are going away and toward the radar. So even at about 5,000 to 6,000 feet up in the air, there could be enough of a strong signature that would extend that down to the surface, or so close to the surface that at any minute you could get a quick spin up. It's 9:50 at night. We can't see. We don't, spotters, it's tough to see. So that's why we are stressing to go to your safe place as soon as possible. And that's Moore Station right now. And even in Chandler, we need you to stay sheltered. And even in White House and Noonday, I would stay in my shelter right now just because this hatched area means a tornado is possible, especially as that cell moves in. All right, let's go back to the news desk with another update. Here's Aaron Baker.
Yeah, Brad, I have Van Zandt County Sheriff Steve Hendricks on the phone. Obviously, those storms are moving through Van Zandt County right now. Sheriff Hendricks, can you hear us? Sheriff Hendricks, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us. Can you, obviously, we're seeing a lot of lightning strikes, the storms moving through Van Zandt. Can you give us a sense of what you're seeing on the ground there?
Basically, we've had some wind damage, several trees down across the county. We've had lightning hit a transformer and catch a tree on fire. But as of right now, we've had no calls about structure damage to any homes in the area. So like I said, it's just high winds and a lot of rain.
With the trees, are there any roads that are closed right now? Obviously, people should avoid, just to be clear, being out at all right now. But if for people that do absolutely have to drive right now, are there roads that are closed that people should be aware of?
The one road I know that has some trees down on it is going to be Farm to Market 859 that runs from Canton to Edgewood. I know there's some trees down on that road around County Road 3119. Other than that, I believe all the others have been cleared out. Like I said, we haven't any other reports of those. We had a transformer fire on County Road 2142. Lightning hit a transformer and I believe the nearby trees on fire and possibly some other things around that transformer. But so far, we've had no calls of injuries or anything like that.
And I know we've been talking throughout the day as these storms moved in. Can you share a little bit about what Van Zandt County has done to prepare for these, or what you're doing right now to prepare for these storms?
Basically, when we know severe weather is approaching the area, we keep the day shift on a little bit longer. I was out there quite a while myself tonight, driving through the county, just being prepared and being ready to respond. So we need a response. It's just more manpower on the ground is the best thing we can do.
And what are the best ways that viewers can stay updated via the website or a Facebook page, something like that?
We post things from time to time on our Facebook page for the Sheriff's Office, but the best thing they can do is, just continue to watch the news. CBS 19 and other local news stations will give the up-to-date information on the weather, and just follow those alerts and warnings when they say take cover. I mean, that's what it means. Take cover and protect yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Van Zandt County Sheriff Steve Hendricks, thank you so much. Brett, you know, we mentioned lightning strikes with this. The sheriff saying 2 roads, or well, there's a transformer down on 1 and roads closed because of trees, FM 859. So we're obviously already seeing little bits of damage here and there from these storms that are moving in.
Yeah, and this is unconfirmed, okay, but Judy Coates, a trained storm spotter, says she witnessed a rope tornado in Pointer, just west of FM 315 going north and northeast. So that's right here. So that's going to be very close to where we're seeing a very tight rotation. So I've got to trust that what Judy's seeing is a possible tornado, at least a small tornado, west of Coffee City, northwest of Frankston, right across 170, is it 173? My eyesight is failing.
175.
175, yes. So right in here, east of LaRue, okay? And so you can see we're getting a stronger rotation within that mesocyclone. So this is a possible small tornado right in here, thanks to a trained storm spotter. Again, I can't confirm that, but I'm going to trust that just based on the radar signature that I'm seeing there and an eyewitness report that there is something of validity just southeast of LaRue crossing 175. Colleen, can you click on that, on the rotating Titan indicator there, and we'll see we're going to inspect this storm. So those swirls that you see there, it can look inside the storm.
Can you hear me?
And so we're getting more than quarter-sized hail, at least estimated within the storm. Tornado impact is low. The wind impact is at a 9. So there is some strong wind. And again, condensation funnel, perhaps something, just a little quick spin up on a rope tornado again, but that was near Pointer just a few minutes ago. So that's within that tornado warned area that goes until 10:15 for Henderson County. And that will continue to move to the northeast toward Coffee City, toward Moore Station. And as we take a look inside that storm again, it's moving to the northeast at 38 miles an hour. So let's track that. Okay. We'll put that cone out, and we're going to take that from that Titan indicator and go out to the northeast at about 38, right there in that very tight little couplet with that dark red up against that bright green. And again, that's moving toward noonday and into an area that has a hatch where there could be a possibility of it having a tornado already in that thunderstorm that's crossing Smith County. But this one here, as it moves northeastward, is going to move toward noonday again. So Moore Station, that's 10:02. So 7 minutes from now, noonday in about 20 minutes, back to the airport. Tyler Pounds in a half hour. City of Tyler at 10:33. New Chapel Hill 10:40. And Winona at 10:52. So that's that cell right there. Can you see that? So bright green, dark red, tighter rotation, a spot that we're talking about having a storm spotter indicates seeing a small rope tornado crossing 175. She said, I think 315. She said Farm to Market Road 315, and that was to the northeast-ish is her description on that. So that would put it right in the 175 sort of vicinity. And that would take it into this direction here. So even though it's a small tornado, it's in the tornado warned area. And now you can see it looks like there might be even like a little more of like a tightening here, right in here. So this is away, this is toward the radar. So that's going that direction, that's going that direction. So right in there is that mesocyclone or that little spin, possible spin up. All right, let's go back to reflectivity on that and see if we are getting, see right back in this area here. All right, so near Pointer, east of LaRue, Pointer's down in here. Oops. So right in there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's my fault. That's where that cell has the potential, or may have produced a small little rope tornado here this evening. And again, this tornado warning goes until 10:15. So we are going to stay on air until we get rid of these tornado warnings because we want everybody to be safe. Remember, we are in a moderate risk of severe weather, meaning that we could have long-tracked, intense thunderstorms here tonight, could have some large hail, and it could have a couple of strong tornadoes. We saw a strong tornado out in Jack County in Jacksboro where they had damage of a high school and a hospital there earlier. So that's possible with any of these cells. And this is part of that cell that is all moving to the east. Let me know in the control room if you want to take a break, then start CBS 19 News at 10 and just continue on, or if we'll just continue on with our coverage. All right, so we're going to continue. All right, so we're just going to continue right on through the 10 o'clock break time in through the 10 o'clock news, and at least this will take us up through 10:15. I have a feeling we're going to be on much later than this because you're seeing that little circulation there, and as it moves off to the northeast, there's a possibility as it crosses 155, we could still have a tornado warning into Smith County. We haven't had a tornado warning in Smith County yet, but it doesn't mean that this one couldn't prompt something like that. So we need to stay on our toes and be ready to head for shelter when we go back into tornado warning. I'd already be in my shelter if I lived in White House, New Chapel Hill, or Tyler, just simply because of these dashed lines here. Those dashed lines are indicating that there's a possibility, even though it's a severe thunderstorm, that this could include or a tornado possible tag on that. And we have that severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 10:15 also tonight. So that's over toward Browning and then over toward Kilgore. So Colleen, any word from Weather Service on any sightings, anything like that? I mean, I just had that one from...
No word. The latest we had was that continued severe thunderstorm warning. That was at 9:48. But I was looking at that little notch just outside of Tyler. I mean, of course, that is a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's just showing how those winds are really feeding into this as the storm continues to advance forward into our region. So again, we have severe thunderstorm warning until 10:15, and also a tornado warning just next door. The tornado warning goes until 10:15 as well. So the severe thunderstorm warning includes Gregg, Smith, Upshur, and Wood counties. And there we go. It has been extended till, okay, what's happening here? 10:15, Henderson. All right, so they just basically changed. They expanded it, but it's still within the same county. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was saying, what's happening here? Now we have a tornado warning. They're updating it. All right, so we just got a tornado warning for Smith, Upshur, and Wood counties. It is time to get, I was just looking at this little notch here, the one in Tyler and then one over in Winona where we currently have this rotating, this storm indicator. There we go. So this is a tornado warning we just told you about just by Big Sandy. And there goes the
outdoor warning siren system. Yeah, so we're hearing that in Smith County right now. So if you're hearing the outdoor warning siren system, that is because we do have a tornado warning in Smith County.
Yep, okay.
All right, so, all right, is Jose ready for us? We can go outside. Okay, so Jose Alonso is outside CBS 19 studios. Let's go to Jose outside. Jose, I know a lot of lightning out there. What else are you experiencing this evening?
Bit of action. It was still a little drizzly on Highway 31, but on the way back I could still see some lightning strikes on the west side of Tyler, so we can still see the storms making its way towards us as we speak. Now the roads are still wet across the area, so please take precaution if you are driving. And I did get word that Shondell and Ashley are taking cover in Athens right now because of that tornado warning. Now here in Tyler the rain is starting to pick up again, but you can definitely see the lightning show behind me. So far it doesn't seem like it's striking anywhere near us. We had a couple of strikes, but it wasn't too loud. Now as the storm continues to make its way east, we want to keep you updated on anything else going on here in Tyler or in Smith County. But until then, I'm going to send it back to you, Brett.
All right, Jose, thank you very much. All right, so Jose Alonso just reporting some light drizzle at this time. That tornado warning goes until 10:45. That's in Smith County. And you can see right here near Big Sandy, this red and green area next to each other would be indicative of something that we would need to watch. We've also been watching this area down toward Pointer that was moving north and eastward. But you can still hear the sirens outside your home. That is because we have a tornado warning in Smith County. That's going to go until 10:45 tonight. So that particular portion of the cell that is at least inside the polygon, and we always say respect the polygon. Polygon, merely just this shape, okay? So it's just this little kind of outline that we draw on a map, and inside that, anywhere inside that, that's where you need to be in your shelter. So Big Sandy, we need you in your shelter right now. That is north of 271. It is north of the city of Tyler, but back here to the west of Tyler, there's another possible rotation, very broad rotation at this time. This one's a little tighter, enough that it prompted the tornado warning. And that does include Upshur and Wood County also. So that's moved out of, that's not only Smith County, that's Wood and Upshur until 10:45. Here's Interstate 20. There's Highway 80. So this is going to cross Highway 80 toward the Big Sandy area. Let's zoom in on this. There are several towns near Big Sandy as we head northeastward. Hawkins, for instance, is right there. Then you've got Big Sandy headed eastward toward Kilgore and Longview. You got Pritchett just to the northeast. Pritchett's also in the polygon right now. Kelsey and Latch. Gilmer's just outside of it. If I'm in Gilmer, I'm headed for my shelter right now. Gladewater, too close for comfort here. I'm probably going to my shelter just to ride this out, just for safety, as this tornado warning goes for about the next 42 minutes. And this will continue moving north and eastward at about 40 miles an hour. So Colleen's tracking this for us, and we'll move those cities out from behind the little polygon area there. Okay, most of your TVs are probably showing a tornado warning, so you maybe can hear us, or maybe not. But the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning for Wood, Smith, Upshur until, well, this now says 11 o'clock. So I'm not sure.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So 10:14 Wilkins, 10:28 East Mountain, 10:41 Diana, 10:49 Ore City, 10:54 Harleton, and 10:58 Warlock. So that is where we're looking at this system. I put this at 40 miles per hour. That is, looks like it's just west of Winona.
Through what time? Through.
This is a tornado warning that goes until 10:45.
Okay. So, again, I'm sure if you're watching on cable, the cable customers right now are seeing a tornado warning probably from the Smith County or National Weather Service from Emergency Management. If you're watching us over the air or watching us on the stream, you are seeing what we are doing right now. So, Big Sandy, Hawkins is just to the north of that. That's the cell of a particular interest right now that has enough rotation in it that it has prompted the tornado warning. There's the city of Tyler. Tyler right now is in a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado tag on it, meaning there could be a possible tornado. And then just west of there to the southeast of Edom, right in here, there's another tornado warned cell for parts of Henderson County. That has been slowly chipped away at the later and later we get. So we're at 10:15, so the concern is right in here right now. And so that'll hop across into that severe thunderstorm warned polygon area. And then once it goes over there, then you're talking about just west of Highway 69, just west of the city of Tyler.
And Brett, sorry to interrupt you. The National
okay.
Weather Service just said a new tornado warning will be forthcoming downstream from the Henderson County, the one you were just talking about, the Henderson County tornado warning for Smith County. So it looks like this Henderson County one, where you're seeing the reds and the greens just outside of Tyler, they're likely going to expand this into Smith County as well. They just put that out a minute ago.
Okay, so there's enough concern there.
This
then.
new tornado warning will include Tyler, Texas. So Tyler, get ready. You're going to be under a tornado warning in just a minute here. And of course, we want to shout out our radio partners once again. That is going to 106.5 Jack FM, Kicks, 105.7, 104.1 The Ranch, and La Infusora. Whoop, there goes our phone.
There goes our phones, right?
So that's our tornado warning that just went off for, well, at least we know they're working.
Right.
So that would be those new weather alerts issued by the National Weather Service. Remember, we kept telling you about those to make sure you have those activated on your phone here at CBS 19. Of course we do. So, but I wanted to get back to those radio partners. We are streaming live on the air, not only here in the station, but through our radio partners too. If you're listening to us, thank you. But if you are on the road and you are under a tornado warning, which would now include Smith County right on top of Tyler here, you need to seek shelter. Underneath an overpass is not appropriate.
Exactly. So there's Tyler. There's the heaviest portion of the cell moving in. The areas that we have been concerned about have been on the southern side of this thunderstorm. There have been several little areas. In fact, we talked about one near Pointer where we had a trained weather spotter see a little rope tornado. Rope tornado can just be the beginning of something, and it can become larger than that. So the fact that there is some visual confirmation that we have had a little bit of a touchdown here and there, There's the possibility then we could have something bigger. So please heed these severe thunderstorm warnings. All right, Aaron Baker has an update from the news desk. Aaron?
Yeah, Brett, Marangeli Lopez, our anchor here at CBS 19, or one of our evening anchors, is live in Nacogdoches. And right now, my understanding is there's not a ton going on weather-wise in Nacogdoches, but Mara's been traveling all throughout East Texas all day long, speaking to officials, getting the lay of the land as to where those storms are coming in. Do we have Mara right now? Let's see if we have her. Okay, looks like they're working on that right now. But the good thing about what she's been doing is she's been all around throughout the day, and she's ready right now. So, Mara, if you're joining us now, what are you seeing out there? And can you kind of recap what you've seen all day long today?
Yeah, of course, Aaron. Yeah, we are right now in Nacogdoches County. We're kind of by the northwest on the loop here, which is what my understanding is what Brett and Colleen have been mentioning all night, is that there is a strong line of storms that is headed toward this area, particularly right now. My understanding is that it is in Houston County, and if you're in Houston County, of course, you are under a tornado warning, so seek shelter now. But this area here, Nacogdoches County, we've got Angelina County, of course, all of us right now are under a tornado watch until 3 in the morning. That means that, of course, the storm system might be favorable for a tornado to happen, but you do have some time to kind of seek shelter if you are wanting to do so. Right now, all we're seeing here in Nacogdoches are maybe some stronger winds. They've been picking up throughout the night, a sprinkle here and there, but nothing too crazy. It is dark out here, though, so we can't really see the sky to see what's happening or what's going to happen, and that might be the scariest situation here, right? So I'm going to tell you about, in Angelina County, a church that has opened up their doors. If you live in a mobile home, if you live in an area where you might think that shelter it might be hard to come by, you still have time, you're under a watch. It is called the Pollock Baptist Church, and that is located just outside of Lufkin in Pollock, Texas. Let me give you the address here. It is 1053 Paul Townsend Road, and that is in Pollock. It's P-O-L-L-O-K, Texas, and that is located just outside of Lufkin. If you don't have anywhere to go, you're listening to this right now, please go seek shelter in that area, and they're going to have, they said that they might have some drinks or anything like that provided. I saw that on their Facebook page. Jessica Pevworth, she is the Lufkin PIO, and she did send that information over to me so that we could share it on air with you guys. Right now, though, the winds definitely picking up here. We have some rain that's kind of falling, but nothing too heavy here. We still have some time. I'm sure that line of storm is moving this area. We know that there are warnings elsewhere, so I want to send that back to you, Aaron, so we can continue to keep the people updated in those areas where those strong, severe storms are actually down on the ground. Right now, reporting in Nacogdoches County, I'm Marangeli Lopez, CBS 19.
All right, thank you, Mara. You know, Brett, Mara hit the nail on the head there. You know, this is scary at any point throughout the day, but particularly with it being dark and nighttime, you can't see the tornadoes. You can't see the weather before it gets right on top of you.
Yeah, you kind of have to trust the process here and know that something sort of is headed in your direction. And I know the folks over in Angelina County and Nacogdoches County are probably like, what storms? Believe me, they're coming. 1 to 5 a.m. might be your roughest portion of the entire night, and it could be really heavy. So don't give up on this just yet because you haven't seen anything so far tonight. All right, so we still have the tornado warning, again, for Smith County in the area around Big Sandy. The National Weather Service was saying that they had a severe thunderstorm, warned storm that was capable of producing a tornado, and that was located near Big Sandy, or about 10 miles west of Gladewater. There was also a report from a spotter of a ragged wall cloud, but rotation was not well defined. So that would be also within this cell. But anywhere in here, I mean, I'm seeing inflow into the storm. We're seeing outflow away from the storm. If we can, let's take our Skycam full. This is going to be our Chase Bank building camera. We're looking northward, and you might be able to make out when the lightning flashes, maybe that ragged cloud that we're talking about moving across northern portions of Smith County into parts of Wood and Upshur County with that tornado warning for the next half hour. I can make it out just a little bit. I don't know if you can. You can kind of see it on the bottom lower toward the horizon as it's moving from west to east across the area. So that's sort of that ragged structure. I wonder maybe if that wasn't part of the shelf cloud that we saw come in from the west, and now that's sort of moved northward. That looks a lot like a lot of cloud-to-cloud lightning, though I thought I just saw on the lower right-hand corner of the screen, maybe a little cloud-to-ground lightning. So that would be possible over there. Let's keep this up for just a little bit longer. Just want to show you the lightning, and I'm going to look to see if we get any more cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. Of course, lightning can strike from the ground to the cloud, cloud to the ground, or cloud to cloud. And of course, the negative strikes are going to be those stronger ones, the ones out toward the leading edge of those anvils. Those anvil strikes are very strong. So that's what we're looking at right now. It's kind of a ragged cloud moving across northern Smith County. Let's go back over to the anchor desk. Aaron Baker is there with an update from Smith County, right?
Yeah, Smith County Fire Marshal Jay Brooks is joining us now. Jay, can you tell us what you're seeing out there? Obviously, we're under a tornado warning right now.
Oh my God, they're talking to Jay, bro. The fire.
Can you hear us?
It's not us.
Jay, can you hear us? Oh, okay. I'll toss back to Brett. It looks like we're having trouble with that connection. We'll try to get him here in just a second, Brett.
All right, so we're back here looking at radar here tonight. And again, these are the two portions. Okay, so this cell here has tightened up just a little bit. That's south and west of Tyler. All right, and that is within this portion of our severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado tag on it. But then you've got the tornado warning overlaid on top of that. So that looks to be tightening up. This is going to be just west of 110 from White House into Tyler, southwest portion of the loop, getting close to that. And then north of Big Sandy, north of Highway 80, here's the other cell that we are watching. So I'm going to ask Colleen Campbell to zoom in on both of these areas and kind of just investigate, get a little closer, and maybe look at some of these towns closer to the southwest. So Tyler Pounds Airport, between Tyler Pounds and Noonday. So you're, right there by 155 when you come off of Loop 49 and you start heading down toward Frankston. So it's in that vicinity there. Highway 31 coming out of town toward Chandler. There's another area that needs to be under shelter right now, so hopefully you're going to your safe place. Then we come up onto the north side of town. There's another green and red up in this vicinity here, north side of Tyler. But this is the one that was tightened up just a little bit. This is the one that a storm spotter was following, and that's also the same part of that cell that we had. I can't confirm it, but we had a trained storm spotter message us and tell us that she experienced, or he experienced, a rope tornado, or just a little brief spin up there. So Highway 57, 155, right in here. Here's 31. So if you live anywhere between Noonday and Highway 31, 57, or 155 coming out of Tyler back to the west, Gresham is right now inside that polygon, but just to the north or just to the south.
Step off for a second.
Yes,
Sorry.
just to the south of that circulation. So that's circulation number one, and we'll zoom in. You can go a little bit tighter there so we can get everyone kind of a really close-in idea. That's right close to the loop. All right, so we'll pan up a little bit. County Road 1138, you've got East Lakeshore Drive within probably the broad circulation. But if we kind of pan up or go down, I guess I should say, toward the bottom of the screen to where we get more of that green meeting the red down there toward Dudley Drive, and a little farther south of that toward Paula and County Road 1125. And just going down a little bit farther, there's Valley View Drive, and then finally down toward County Road 1121. So right in there, just west of 155, some of those county roads, that's the area where we have one concern. All right, so we'll widen out, then we'll go up toward the Big Sandy circulation. And that Big Sandy circulation has been there for a little while, but that's now moved northeast of Hawkins. So Hawkins, you're fine. Pritchett, if you're in Pritchett listening to us, hopefully you're already sheltered. If you live on, Aspen Trail or near Lemon Road and Private Road 3089, then you'll also want to be sheltered up at this time. All right, so let's see. I'm looking to see if we're getting any more information. All right. All right, so there may be some power outages around the area. Okay, new severe thunderstorm warning now just issued. So let's click on that. I can click on that, or we can.
Okay,
yeah.
You got it?
I think so. There it goes. All right, so that's going to go up here farther to the north. Okay, so now we're looking.
Or that's the Upshur County one. Oops, hold on.
Yeah, right.
Just step off for a second.
But also we've got Upshur, and then it looks like we've now included. Is that going to be Cass County? Bowie County up there to the north. I'm trying to get an eye on those on the polygon. So it looks like it goes. We've got a couple of new ones here. I'll get it off of this one. So severe thunderstorm warning for Camp, Cass, Franklin. I think we had that. Okay, this is the new one. This is going to be Camp, Cass, Franklin, Harrison, Morris, and even Smith County, Titus County, wow, Upshur County, Wood County till 11:15. So they really expanded this whole area out here quite a bit.
And Brett, 2 minutes ago, Brandon from the National Weather Service says that storm in southwest Upshur County has some broad rotation aloft. And the main concern now is a storm heading towards Tyler and Smith County.
That's the one right now?
The one we were just focusing
The
on.
one we're looking at?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the one that we've had that little sighting of a possible rope near Pointer.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's continuing to move to the northeast. All right, go back to the sky cam. Looking right now, it looks like there's some great visual here coming off of this. Look at this. Look how, yeah. So that's the cell moving into, okay, so this is, awesome. So we got this right here. So this is our camera's kind of down here on Broadway, looking north. So that's what you're seeing here. So what you're seeing is this edge here. So the camera's here looking north toward the edge of that cloud. And that's what you're seeing over on that cloud right there, the base of that.
I want to click on this tornado warning.
Okay.
We got another one.
Oh,
So this is the one that's down south in Houston County. It looks like that just populated.
and that's new. What time does that go till? 10:30?
This one, 10:30. They must have just updated that one.
All right, let's go back over to Aaron Baker at the news desk with another update. Aaron?
Yeah, Brett, we have Jay Brooks back, Smith County Fire Marshal. Jay, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us. Can you tell us what you're seeing out there? Obviously, we have a tornado warning in Smith County right now, severe thunderstorm warning. What are you guys seeing?
Right now, we're seeing a lot of lightning. We have no confirmation of any tornadoes at this time. We do have spotters out looking for them. And right now, it's just more of a event. We're seeing structure fires caused by lightning. So far, everything as far as property damage has been minimal, but we do have everybody on high alert at the moment.
Seen any trees or road closures or anything like that so far? Is everything pretty clear there?
Everything's real clear as far as at this point, but that's another thing we're watching for.
And for people that, obviously we've been emphasizing this all night, for people that are in this track, stay safe, don't go out. But for the people that need shelter, are there areas in Smith County where they can go?
Right now, we do not have any shelters open. However, all of our fire stations are manned. So if you are close to a fire station, a Smith County ESD 1 or 2 station, you are obviously welcome to seek shelter there.
Wonderful. Jay Brooks, thank you so much for your time. So, Brett, we have been talking about the Smith County storm, so it's a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning. As Jay just mentioned, no structure, other than structural fires, there's no significant issues in the area yet, no trees down that they're aware of. So at least as of right now, things look relatively clear.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a shot here from our Chase Bank building camera in just a second. It's going to give you an indication of just how heavy the rain is as it's moving into Tyler. You can see it right there. A few minutes ago, we were looking at the ragged edge of the bottom of the cloud as it was moving by. Now we can't even see it as it is rain obscured, and that's going to be, again, there it is. So you can see, we'll likely see some flashes of lightning, but it is absolutely pouring outside right now. And flash flooding is another part of the story. Look at the lightning. That is intense lightning moving through the city of Tyler right now. But as Jay Brooks talked about, we don't, if you look carefully at that camera, I don't see a lot of wind blowing trees around or anything like that, or power poles, or even some maybe flags that are in the rain. But we've got these 2 areas that are tornado warned. One right now just to the west of Gilmer. If I'm in Gilmer, I'm heading to my shelter. Reason why is because this tornado warning could easily be extended up to the northeast. That is a severe thunderstorm warning right now for Wood, Upshur, Camp, Titus, Morris. I think Bowie County is in that. Cass County is in that. That goes all the way up to Texarkana. And then this is the cell of particular interest. We're going to zoom in on that here. This is going to be on the north side of Tyler right now, and where that red is meeting the green. So that's where we have a really broad rotation over the city of Tyler currently. We still have the tornado sirens going off as we have tornado warnings continuing, and those tornado warnings will continue in Smith County till 10:30. So you got about 8 minutes left on that. You have a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado that was near Tyler. It was moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. So it's right there. We are zoomed in on that circulation that may have had a history of producing a brief rope tornado out toward Pointer. And as that moved in, it also could have possibly, maybe it has a strong enough rotation, it's hard to see, maybe a wall cloud being reported by some other spotters. Tyler Pounds Field the ASOS, the Automated Surface Observation System, reporting a gust of 53 knots from the west-southwest just a little bit ago with a heavy thunderstorm and some mist, and it looks like a squall, so some heavy rain. Overcast sky down to about 1,500 feet. You've got scattered at 700. So really low ceilings and visibilities. And the peak wind on that so far 53, again, as I pointed, then a wind shift to the west-southwest, lightning also in all quadrants being reported at this time. So that's the ASOS report out of Tyler Pounds Airport. That would be, pilots would really understand that. And, you know, part of our education is to learn to read PIREPs, and so reading that is really instrumental when it comes down to something like that. All right, so there it is. Broad rotation moving right across the city of Tyler. Old Noonday Road is underneath part of that circulation along 110 to 155. Back to the south and to the southwest. And again, that tornado warning for Smith County goes until 10:30 tonight. All right, so let's widen that out just a little bit. It looks like this is a fairly broad circulation that I can tell. It looks like the circulation is now moving into the northern portion of the polygon at this time. And it looks like it's also moving toward Owenton. So we are seeing a little bit of the circulation outside of that tornado warning. But Colleen, outside of that tornado warn spot, the other severe thunderstorm warning is where? North of that then? Up toward, north of I-20? Toward up?
Upshur County, yeah.
Okay.
Smith, Upshur, Wood, and outside of Gilmer. So is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that was the one. Now
Yeah.
I'm listening to the wind just hitting the station here. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, that Gilmer, that's portion of the Gilmer storm. So it transitions over from a severe thunderstorm warning to a tornado warning.
Yeah, so it looks like, I'm assuming that's emergency management. John Barrett on the National Weather Service chat. Circulation in Upshur County, just 5 miles to the northwest. In Union Grove, Upshur County. So that's the storm that we're currently looking at right now, just on top of Gilmer. Zooming a little closer here, let's see if we can get some Cherokee Trace, John Dean Road, all inside where it looks like we could have a little bit of circulation there. It is broad rotation, but it's enough to initiate this tornado warning. Crawford Street. And
Yeah, 271 headed into Gilmer right now. It seems
Yeah.
to be the central portion of that circulation. The fact that the circulation looks like it's snuck outside of the polygon, perhaps they will not continue that.
Yeah,
And then
we'll
the
see
other,
if they update that.
the other tornado warning we have is down in Houston County.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
You want to go there?
Sure. Yeah, we can go down there, and then we can trade off. You want to hit the wall, and I'll run the radar here for a little bit. I got to rest my voice. We've been going at this for quite some time. Eric, we came on the air at about 8:45 with our first tornado warning for Anderson County. And then we subsequently have been watching these tornado-warned storms just sort of march to the east. But it sounds like right here at Troop in the Loop, we are really catching.
Yeah, so I do want to bring up the camera just to start off with, and then we can go back to the radar. And then Brett, if we could just go back to the velocity radar after I go ahead and show the camera. Oh, I'm tiny. Brett's taller than me. All right, so this is our camera, our Chase Bank camera. This is looking towards downtown. You cannot see downtown right now. Our view is obscured, but you see a ton of lightning out there. That's because we just had, well, we still have that tornado warning that's in Smith County. So now here we go. There's a couple tornado warnings. We have one in Houston County, one in Smith County. And then also, was this just added on, Brett? Harrison, Marion, Morris, and Upshur.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is probably the area that we were just looking at. Is this the area we were just looking at outside Gilmer? Where,
yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah, where we thought that we didn't know if it was getting outside of the polygon.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we zoom in on that one a little bit?
Yeah,
so,
you're on Max 2, right? Yeah, I'll go in on that.
I think I was on yours, but.
Yeah, Max 2.
Oh, we are on Max 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
So right in there is that circulation.
Yeah, so a moment ago we were just showing this and we saw that rotation. We had the reds and the greens kind of next to each other with a lot of bright colors here right now. So if anything, we of course have those very strong winds. So it is trying to rotate, it is trying to tighten up. Tornado impact is a 3.4. That's not super strong. Wind impact, however, is higher. So definitely some very strong winds here. It is a tornado warned storm. This is that cell that we were looking at that we said said was just outside the polygon. Well, they updated the polygon. The polygon now includes Harrison, Marion, Morris, and Upshur counties. So you need to go ahead and get in your safe place. This has been expanded a little bit further out to the northeast. So this cell is continuing to drive through portions of East Texas, the northeastern portions. This is just one of 3 tornado warnings that we have right now. I would imagine this one, well, it looks like this one's going to kind of combine with the one that we have right now. Maybe that's what the National Weather Service was thinking. So we have the one that likely will expire once this moves out of Pritchett, Kelsey, and moves into Gilmer. So Gilmer is kind of going to get hit again with those heavy rains and gusty winds, because they just had that one cell move through there, and now we're looking at this other one that's kind of out by Kelsey and Pritchett. So can we get street level on that, Brett?
Yeah, I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in. I'm just looking at another tornado warning now that extends into Gregg County. So now we have a tornado warning going on into Gregg County.
And there goes our phones.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right, so Gregg County is now under a tornado warning. So it looks like that they expanded this a little bit down further to the south. And this is probably why we have this broad rotation here. You can see the reds and the greens next to one another, but also very bright colors. Those bright colors indicate that those winds are pretty strong. So I don't know if we have the storm trackers on there just to see.
You want to go in toward Gilmer? We'll go in real close.
Yeah, let's get.
All right. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to turn off of the warnings. Just know that we got the severe thunderstorm warning or the tornado warning for Harrison, Marion, Morris, and Upshur. So we'll get rid of that, and then we'll be able to get down to street
level. Step out of here
here
so you can move around.
Yeah, no, it's all right. So that's near Fox Stevens Field, Gilmer Municipal. All right, so you got the airport.
It looks like this is a hosptal. Oh, okay, no, a minute. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
That's me needing glasses.
That's going to be
Apple Tree Road.
Yeah, and South Montgomery Street coming in from Pritchett right now. That seems to be the brightest spin that we have right now, or the brightest couplet that we can see.
And this is the one, again, this is what we were just looking at on the velocity radar, where we had a little bit of spin, and we were saying it was outside the polygon. Here I go again. Let me step off the screen. Brett's going to put a tracker on here according to how fast the storm is going. Okay, so if it continues along this path, which it looks like it is, because we just had that tornado warning extended out to the northeast, areas like Grayston will get it around 1044, Ore City 1053, 1103. We're looking at Warlock, Avenger, and again, I apologize if I'm pronouncing some of these town names wrong. You can send me a message about it. Bear Creek 1121, and then Lanier, is that Lanier 1127? So again, I apologize if I'm getting your town name wrong. It's a learning process, but hey, we want you to be safe. And if you're listening to us through our radio partners, make sure if you're out on the road and you are under any of these tornado warnings, you go ahead and seek shelter somewhere. One of our reporters that was out on the road, she heard the tornado sirens go off. She had it on her phone. You know what she did? She went inside a Walmart. So, hey, if a Walmart's open and that's the closest thing, make sure you go inside a bathroom. Make sure, even if it's inside a Walmart or a big store like that, you do want to make sure you go inside an enclosed area. We had a couple pictures out. What town was that, Brett? Out by Fort Worth. A gymnasium that was just ripped apart. So you want to make sure that you're inside an interior room. A closet works well. A bathroom if it has no windows. And I do want to get these warnings back up here, Brett, if we could. Jack Sparrow High School. So that's what I'm talking about. That's north of Fort Worth. That was earlier this afternoon, but it's still all the same system, all relative. The point of my story here is we usually tell you to take shelter inside a school, inside a church, inside of a store. But the problem is that building got ripped apart, the gymnasium. You need to find, if you go inside a large building, you need to find a small interior room. The smaller, the better. If you're outside, get down on the ground, lay on your tummy, cover your head. Most injuries inside tornadoes are due to flying debris. All right.
Colleen?
Yes.
I've got to break in here. So one of the emergency managers is saying that they're seeing some power flashes from their view off Toll 49 in Biloxi to the northeast. That would be east and northeast of downtown Tyler. So if they go back to Max 1, I'm going to show you where that area is. So that's going to be near Owenton. See that right there?
Yeah.
So we may have had a touchdown there in that area. So if there's some power flashes at night, that typically indicates that we've got either some sort of wind damage going on or there's something on the ground. So if
do we want to put a track on this?
Yeah, I will. Okay. So if you're in Owenton, please make sure that you are getting to your safe place immediately.
Maybe we should zoom in street level first. Owington. Okay, so this is the area that Brett was just talking about. A lot of power power flashes indicating those winds are really whipping around those power lines out there.
So step off just a little bit more. So I'm
Okay,
going to
sorry.
pull that back. That's okay. All right, there we go. Oh, that still wants to pick up on something else other than, oh, I've got it. Don't worry. Got to turn the right tool on. Oops, maybe not. All right, you know what? Let's go over to max, the second max. I'm not sure why that's going to do this here. Hold on. We've got this. We got it. All right, now you're on max. You can go back to max 1. Max 1 is where I've got this lined up and I've got the velocity on, so that's going to be a better tool.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Bullseye. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll go in here. We'll just won't be able to switch back and forth between reflectivity and velocity real easy. But there it
Okay.
is. So yeah, if you're at County Road, 384, you want to certainly be sheltered, and anywhere south of Interstate 20 in the Owenton area.
Yeah, okay, yeah, 271, 384, any of these roads sound familiar. If you're driving right now, you need to go ahead, get off the road, get into a safe place, not under an overpass is one of the worst places that you can be. Owenton, and then Brett's also going to put a track on here so we can see where these storms are going. You can see that they're heading off to the northeast here. Gladewater, I would assume, Winona, you should get in your safe place right now. And we're going to get a couple towns out here. So Starville, 1044, around 1102, Gladewater, 1108, White Oak, Longview, you've kind of been excluded from this whole thing up until now. It looks like 1118 for Longview. Man, I can't believe it's already 11 o'clock. 1128, Diana. So we do have these storms that are moving out to the northeast. This particular cell that Brett just pointed out, he got reports from Storm Spotter that there were some power flashes in that area. So likely could have some touching down. And also, Brett, what's going on here by Wilkins? That also looks a little groovy, too.
Well, we've got a strong debris signature southeast of Gilmer.
Okay.
So,
right.
yeah, so we're going with, they're going to have a tornado and confirmed tag on this now. And that's going to be, so a tornado warning now for Camp, Cass, Harrison, Marion, Morris, and Upshur County till 11:15. At 10:31, National Weather Service is saying a confirmed tornado now located near Gilmer, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour.
Okay.
So not only do we have the possible tornado northeast of Tyler where we're seeing power flashes, I'll zoom out here. We'll find Gilmer. That's going to be right here. That's a very bright area. Let me turn on our correlation coefficient and see if we can spot that. So if we're getting a debris signature out of that. So yeah,
Brett's going to turn on so we can see if we get any debris out of that little kind of
right
bullseye.
there? Look at that. We got a little debris ball. See it east of Gilmer, near Ore City. In that area, I'll circle it for us so we can see right here. So we've got damage. We've got damage west of Ore City. It may have come off the southeast side of Gilmer.
It might be on the other.
Are they on max 2?
Yeah, they're on the other max. I was going to say it's not popping up for us.
All right, let me go back. I can easily load in the correlation coefficient. All right, so just bear with me, and I loaded it up on max 2. Very evident, very evident at this time. So what do we need to do is find our closest site. We'll go right in here again. It's going to be easy to see. There it is. See it? See the green?
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be right in here, and there's a lot of it now. There's a lot more that's showing up. I'll turn off lightning so you can see this.
Yeah, the
Look
lightning's
at that.
Yeah.
So it's starting to spread out. So there's spread out damage. So we likely have damage out of somewhere in the Gilmer area.
Okay.
And it could be, that might be substantial.
Okay.
So yeah,
yeah, so those of you that are in Gilmer, once this tornado warning does expire for your area and it is deemed safe because there is still a severe thunderstorm warning right next door, let us know. Send us a text message. You can email us, weather@cbs19.tv. We want to hear how you're doing. If you're in your safe place right now and you hear the winds whipping around or you hear those alerts going off on your phone, let us know. Where are you located? What's the time? Please do not go outside if you do not have to, especially if you're under a tornado warning. We do not want you to do that. We want you in your safe place. That is the #1 important thing. So again, a couple of these counties that are involved here. So this is the storm that's just coming out from Gilmer, which we are getting reports of likely a tornado that did touch down, and that was in Gilmer, correct, Brett?
Somewhere near Gilmer. It looked like that.
So Brett's drawing a line right now where that storm is, and this is that tornado warned storm.
Yeah, we need to get people to shelter at Hughes Springs for sure, Avenger, Linden,
Okay, so
Kildare.
this storm that Brett just put a track on, this has a history of possibly producing a tornado. This is showing debris. It's pretty spread out, so it's likely that something just moved through there, whether it be strong straight line winds, which we just saw some rotation on there. So it's likely, we don't want to say it's tornado until they would have to go out and survey the area, but you see this broad area of debris here, so that means that something touched down and threw things around. So this storm is now moving out to the northeast, and these are some of the areas that have to go into their safe place right now. If you are not in your safe place, you need to get moving. So around Lone Star, 1040, Hughes Springs, 1047, Bear Creek, 1103, Linden, 1111, Kildare, 1124, and Atlanta at 11:30 p.m. So Aaron, I'm going to toss it over to you.
Yeah, Colleen, we have Smith County Fire Marshal Jay Brooks back on the phone. Jay, can you hear us? Jay, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Perfect. Can you, obviously we've seen a lot of lightning with this storm. Those tornado warnings have moved through. Are you guys seeing any changes in Smith County?
No, so far Smith County is looking really, really good. We've had just some minor traffic accidents. We had a couple of structure fires potentially caused by the lightning, but they were extinguished quickly. So far, we're faring pretty well.
That's great. I know a minute ago when we talked, for the people, now once those things safely pass, if they do need shelter, the fire departments were open. Was it Fire Department 1 and Fire Department 4, I believe?
Oh, no, sir. The Smith County, so we've got stations manned at Flint Gresham. We've got Noonday, Winona, Red Springs, and Lindale. And so, like I said, if anyone needs shelter, we would ask them to go to the fire station and just let us know, and we'll coordinate longer-term sheltering.
Perfect. Jay Brooks, thank you so much for the update. We'll keep in touch throughout the evening. You know, Colleen, lots of lightning with these storms. We had the tornado warnings. It's good news, at least for Smith County so far. Unfortunately for Gilmer, it looks like something may have potentially touched down there. As you were saying, a potential debris field there.
Yes, and right now, Brett is highlighting an area over in Gregg County that we also have. Look at this little notch right here. When things start getting a little bit ragged around a cell like that, that's when we grow some concern. It looks like we have some winds turning into this, and right now Brett is highlighting this area so we could put a track on that and see some of the towns that need to take shelter in this area. This is outside of Gregg County, correct?
Yeah, this is going to be moving out of Upshur and Wood County and also northeastern Smith County.
Okay.
And this storm, again, moving, most of them have been.
So this is the one just outside of Longview.
Yeah.
Longview, okay, a couple towns here. So see, it looks very haggard right now. And this area right here, we're particularly concerned about because that means something is turning in here. So White Oak, 1045, these are areas that you absolutely need to get shelter right now. You are under a tornado warning, and you can see how it really looks haggard right here. So White Oak, 1045, and again, you just kind of want to go by these times gently. Bear Creek around 1050, Longview, 1056. Longview, you've been quiet so far. Jefferson, 1109, Hallsville, 1113, Marshall, 1128, and then Vivian at 1133. Brett, I think I cut you off.
No, that's okay. If we can go over to maxed, well, here, let me pop on there 1 second real fast.
Okay.
I just want to see this thing right here, because I think you were pointing this out. It was like right in here.
Yeah.
So sometimes we get what we'll call little line echo wave pattern kind of, or little spin ups right in there. So that's just to the west of White Oak. So I'm a little concerned about that area. There's another area right in here that's just east of Tyler Pounds, and then up to the north there a little bit. There seems to be like 3 or 4 little areas that
look at just a minute ago. And this is how things change minute by minute. See how it kind of just like has this little notch right in there? That's what you need to look for on those radar returns. So boop, there's 1, there's 2. This one's becoming a little bit more well-defined.
So I think we need to stress for Bear Creek, Jefferson, Marshall, White Oak, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I think folks need to get to their shelter. Also, looking at Max 2 on storm relative, Winona just had a circulation kind of go over there, and our Titan indicator has kind of a stronger spin in that area. So if you're in Winona or Gladewater, you need to be in shelter. Okay, and then up here toward Gilmer now.
Oh, that's it. Okay, that's 1.
Yeah, you're seeing that tornado spin. Okay, so that was the cell that's probably moved over toward Ore City now. Okay, so in fact, this is probably a little bit behind, because if you look at Ore City, just to the west of Avenue. Look at that strong signature just to the south of Cedar Springs. So Cedar Springs, get to your safe spot right now. I know I'm getting a little excited or a little emotional here, but you know, I think we've had a tornado in parts of Upshur County. I think we have damage near Ore City and toward Gilmer, and I think that could possibly be the next one.
The one moving out. So the one that we were just talking about that was over in Gilmer that we were showing the debris signature on, where we had possible debris spread across a wide area of debris. There it goes. Look, Brett, it just popped up. So it just popped up on top of the area we were just talking about. So Cedar Springs, Ore City, we cannot stress this enough. You should be in your safe spot right now. Tornado impact 7.5. Oh, let me step off.
Yeah.
Wind impact is actually lower than the tornado impact. So Brett, you want to?
Yeah,
Brett's
so I mean,
chomping at the bit when he gets this
if we're at a
clicker.
7.5, I mean, we're talking about. I think we have a tornado on the ground, even though I mean we haven't had it confirmed by anybody in terms of a weather spotter. But our Titan indicator does a pretty good job when it gets above a 5 of indicating that there is something on the ground, and typically there is. So it's dark, you can't see, but if you live in Ore City or Cedar Springs, man, I hope you are sheltered up right now. And if you're in Avenger, you know, go ahead and shelter up for sure.
Want me to put a track on that?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. And then, yeah, so there's a little bit of hail in there, but that probability of hail is 100%. And that is a high tornado impact. Again, that's going to be Cedar Springs. There's 259 between Ore City and Cedar Springs. And when we get one of these on here from our tornado or our Titan impact indicator, that tells us, yeah, we've got something. We are above just a normal circulation. Sometimes thunderstorms can spin, but we're talking about a thunderstorm that's possibly producing a tornado at this time. So, yeah, I think we'll have to see if we find out anything from Upshur County. Aaron Baker, let's.
We are working on it right now, trying to get somebody from Upshur County. So we're working on that one.
Okay.
As we speak. Do we have a Shondell? We have Shondell in Athens. I know she's sheltering right now. Oh, we don't have her at the moment.
She was sheltering. She went out to Athens. Then the heaviest thunderstorm moved through there.
And she went to take shelter.
Yeah, she was smart enough. Yeah, she went to shelter, and that's what we would suggest with anybody if they head out that way, that they should find a spot. And you always have to know, especially if you're tracking storms, you have to have one, a safe escape route, and two, a place that you know you can go to shelter.
Yeah.
I think Shondell's example too is, let's say you were at a grocery store or something like that. Well, what do? You don't stay in your car. You go inside a sturdy structure.
Right. Worst thing you can do, to Colleen's point earlier, under an overpass, stay in your car. Those are things you don't want to do. You want to get to that shelter as soon as possible.
The overpass is the wind tunnel effect. I thought she did something on social media earlier tonight, and Colleen had an excellent example. It's like sucking wind through a straw. Is that what you said? Yeah. So you know how fast that goes, right? So if you're hiding under an underpass, the wind speed will accentuate just a little bit. So we're still working on the Upshur County. I had that debris field. We were showing that. Colleen was showing you that. So there is a debris field with that. That was certainly the possibility that we've had some damage near Gilmer. It looked like it might have just been, I'm hoping, just to the east and not in downtown Gilmer.
I didn't realize we were on Max 1, so let me go.
No, you're fine. It's all good. So that is the debris tracker. So that's going to be the correlation coefficient. So it's probably right now kind of picking up. It looks like it's pinging up. Yeah, there it goes.
Off.
Okay.
Just getting fixed up.
Yeah,
here.
so there's a lot. I mean, I don't know what's floating in the air out there, but there is certainly a lot of debris here east of Pittsburgh.
Cedar Springs, Lone Star, Dangerfield.
And remember, we just had the Titan indicator with the tornado indicator near Cedar Springs. So if you're in Avenger, please shelter. Please get your shelter. Lone Star, please be in your shelter. Dangerfield, there may be some debris being flown about. This is a pretty strong, right there. That's a pretty strong debris signature right there.
And Brett,
west
the
of
viewers
Lassiter.
can't see it, but on my computer, I went ahead and put up a storm track. So Coffeyville, some of the towns that this could run into. Coffeyville on top of you right now. Avenger, we were just talking about that, minutes away. Bear Creek, Linden, New Colony, Bivens, and Atlanta. You need to go ahead and take shelter right now.
Okay, did you guys switch over? Could you switch over to Max 2? Yeah, so Colleen, you want to go over that again?
Yeah.
So everybody can see that?
Yeah, let me actually, because I'm sure this is updated a little bit, so let's clear this off and start over again. And this is what you got to do with these storms. You got to stay on top of them. Some of these things are really fast moving. We just saw how we were talking about Gilmer minutes ago, how there was debris out that way. Now we're talking about Ore City, kind of jumped, hop, skip, and a jump away. So we've hate to make a joke about it, but it's pretty serious stuff here. These things move very quickly. So let's see how fast this thing's moving first. And okay, tornado impact 7.7, probability of severe hail 50%, and I didn't get the winds on that, so let me get that one more time. Okay, and winds north at 45 miles per hour. Okay, so we got our winds. Let me go ahead and zoom this out so that goes away. All right. And then we'll go ahead and put this at 45 miles per hour. Moving north, so 45.
So essentially what we're doing here is you're seeing sort of, we're doing analysis as we're going along. So, typically if we were doing a weather cast, we would do all the analysis and then we prepare that. But Colleen's doing it on the spot analysis of the storm. And so that's what we're also doing. So if you notice we have a little bit of dead air, it's probably because we're sort of looking at the storm. We're trying to analyze. We don't have a lot of time to be able to, time to step aside. And so sometimes we just have to take a little bit of a break and do that. All right, so that's Avenger. There's the cell. There's the green. There's the red. So this is the cell that we are concerned about right now. That's moving
all
toward
those towns, Douglasville, Atlanta, Lanark. And again, this is a tornado warning that goes until 11:15 for Cass, Marion, Morris, and Upshur counties. And hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they expand this a little bit longer, just with what we're seeing here.
the tornado warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And likely this is the cell that crossed over parts of Upshur, somewhere like right in here, we think, where we had the damage reported, and the confirmed tornado near Gilmer. And we think Ore City, and we had a strong debris signature also off of that area in Upshur County. All right, so that's where we stand right now. We still have, if you go ahead and take a look, let's go back to Max 1. I just want to give you a broad overview here. Colleen is doing some assessment, and we'll join her here in just a second again. But you can see, so this is the cell. You can see how it's turning and spinning. There's a lot of lightning. Again, when we see lightning like this, we know we've got a strong mesocyclone or strong thunderstorm, supercell perhaps. We also know that we have a strong updraft. We know that there's hail, there's ice crystals inside that cell. For there to be ice crystals inside that cell, there has to be wind, strong wind flowing into the storm and then rising and lifting that higher into the cloud, okay?
Hey,
so,
Brett, I just want to interrupt for 1 second. Gilmer Fire Department is responding to house damage from a possible tornado with injuries on Azalea Road off Highway 154.
Okay, so say that again.
Gilmer Fire Department is responding to house damage from a possible tornado with injuries on Azalea Road off of Highway 154. So that's likely that area we were just looking at and the area that we were just warning about, the areas that are under that tornado warning for Marion, Morris, Upshur, that tornado that just came out of Gilmer.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, so that looks like, so Justin's telling me that it looks like that might be a little bit in Upshur County.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's going to be in Upshur County, so right in here. So that's part of that cell now that's moved into eastern Upshur County and now starts to move toward Harrison and Cass County. Again, so this is a serious storm, so if you live in Harrison, Cass County, please get to your shelter. Longview, hopefully you're sheltered right now. This little cell here, I call it little compared to the one up at Gilmer, but this is the one that moved across the north side of Tyler. There were reports of some power flashes from Loop 49 looking back to the northeast. So I don't know if that might have been being able to see the Gilmer storm way up here. Makes me wonder that time when I saw what I thought was the ground, cloudy ground lightning, if we weren't seeing a power flash from our Chase Bank building camera, but we didn't see another one. We just saw the one. So, but these two cells here have combined to cause a lot of problems from Longview up to Gilmer over to Jefferson. So we've had tornado warnings with these. They continue till 11 o'clock and even 11:15 for Cass, Marion, Morris, and Upshur County. And then we have the Houston County tornado warning till 11 o'clock. And if you're in southern Cherokee County, okay, we haven't talked about you guys. This cell is moving into southern Cherokee County. Alto is near this cell. So please, if you're in Alto, I know you're not under the tornado warning right now. You're not even under a severe thunderstorm warning, but I know you probably have some anxiety after the storm a few years ago. Please head to your shelter right now. This will also move into southern Rusk County and northeastern Nacogdoches County. So this is a big mean cell. This has been spinning since way back at Bryan, and it has been tornado warned for several miles and will probably continue to be tornado warned all the way. Okay, so
new one.
Yeah, you want to click on that? Okay, so this is going to be, okay, so it's that cell. So do you have some information? I'm looking at where that is. It looks like it's Houston County, but has it extended now into Nacogdoches County
No,
or
it
southern?
It looks like they're trying to update it.
Oh,
Here, let me
okay.
see.
So I wasn't sure if they had moved that into southern Cherokee. It looks like it's just outside of Angelina County or Nacogdoches County, but not into southern Cherokee County, right?
Let me check here, sorry.
Yeah, I think in Crockett, Latexo, Grapeland, you're okay. I know you're still in that polygon, but I think the update here is lifting the warning here and now pushing it into the northeastern part of the county.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and taking it till 11:15. So,
I don't see anything on chat, so that's it. But yeah, it looks like they just expanded it, which I was just going to say, you were just talking about Alto, and, you know, it's just minutes, and I know Alto is very bruised from previous years. So Alto, I mean, and there's a lot of mobile homes and manufactured homes out that way, and we keep repeating ourselves, and we sound like a broken record. But Alto, you know more than anybody. You know, I know because I've seen pictures. There's some mobile home parks that you absolutely need to go ahead and find an alternative shelter right now. You are not under the tornado warning, but this is your closing window, because right next door over in Houston County, you can see that this tornado warning was just expanded. You have the heavy rain now moving into your area, so please, if you live in mobile or manufactured homes, which I know there's a couple of them, I saw storm pictures from the last Alto tornado, you need to go ahead and seek shelter elsewhere, a sturdier shelter. Maybe inconvenience for the next couple of hours, but that inconvenience could save your life.
Yeah, real quick, Colleen, I was going to say, Mara brought this up earlier. You mentioned Alto. Pollock is right there. If you can safely get there, there is a shelter. Pollock Baptist Church, 1053, I believe it's Paul Townsend Road, if I wrote it down correctly.
Here's Pollock, yeah.
But Pollock Baptist Church is a shelter right now. So again, if you're in Alto or nearby Alto and you can safely get to Pollock, you should do so as quickly as possible.
Which, if they just shoot right down 69, they would have to leave right now. I mean, I would hate to even suggest driving that far, but again, if your last resort is even to go to a Walmart or some kind of store, the interior bathroom of any store that's open right now, a 24-hour gas station, anything that you can find an enclosed room. I know it sounds silly, but go ahead and just, you know, hide out there, hunker down until the tornado warning passes. All right, we just got another tornado warning update. Let's see where this takes us.
you want to go point that out? I'm trying to catch up on some social media to see if we got any reports anywhere.
This one's just outside. Okay, so this one is that they must be updating this.
Oh, just expanding it to the north a little bit?
Now we have a thunderstorm warning, but we're caring about the tornado warnings
Okay,
right now.
so I'll come over, I'll point that out for us. So it's a 10:54 on this Monday night. We've had several tornado warnings and maybe some possible damage up in parts of Upshur County near Gilmer. So this is the new severe thunderstorm warning, which we're going to click on and bring you up to date on that. Likely, it's probably going to be...
It's that one over north. This is going back to Gilmer, and this is...
Oh, Gregg County now
Yeah.
included, and then so what we're talking about, it moving up into Harrison County, and then a piece of Marion County is also in that. So we got
now
Marion.
we got another
tornado warning. All right, so let me go. So that's
This
Alto.
is going back to, here we are. All
Okay.
right, Alto, you are now under that tornado warning. So not even, what was that, 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, and that's why I was saying if you lived in Alto, and I know they weren't under a warning, but I wanted them to get to shelter. Can we go in on velocity here? This looks really dangerous and curious also at the same
Yes,
time.
let
There's
me find
strong
your
inflow into
velocity
that storm. It's not in like the most perfect place for a tornado. It may be what we call a three-body hail scatter strike or a three-body scatter spike. Yeah, so it might be a big hailstone
Here,
that is
Brett, I might
shooting
have to
off.
go on max 2 because I don't know
Okay.
what your velocity is on here right now.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
fine.
set up.
Okay, so we're going down here into this cell here. There's Alto. So we're looking at that portion of the cell, and we've expanded it. So yeah, that's likely not the tornado. That was not a tornado where I'm looking at. That's likely some hail in there. Though there is a little bit of a rotation showing up, but it's really broad. I mean, it's wider than the city of Alto itself. So most likely that's probably going to be more or less closer. This would be the area that I'd be a little more concerned about. We're getting a little brighter return there between Waichus east of Mound City. So that one, but that's still too close for Alto. I mean, you need to be sheltered up in Alto. When we say this, and we have probably said it enough, but if you don't know where to go, it needs to be the innermost portion of your house. That means it's a closet or a bathroom with no windows. That's where you go. We don't have basements here, so you can't really go underground. If you're on a second floor and you can't get down to a first floor, in the interior room again, best place to be. Most likely, most amounts of time, these warnings last about 45 minutes, so you're in there for just less than an hour. But sometimes you have to go back in there several times throughout the night. This is one of those nights where we've had several different warnings go over different counties, and even the city of Tyler has been in 2 separate tornado warnings tonight, though at this point we don't have any reports of any damage. So that's the tornado warning there, and then we got another one that's near Ore City toward Avenger. There's 2 of them spinning up there, Colleen.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't want to interrupt you, but that's why I wanted to move up here. So it looks like the tornado warning's just in this small little area of Cass right now. That's what's basically left over. But yeah, we have some rotation. But I'm wondering if that's what we were just talking about minutes ago, and it's kind of just the storm indicator, just kind of the Titan indicator just updating there. But this area right here looks kind of funky. I mean, the tornado warning's right on top of it. Hughes Springs, Patman. What is that? That is Road 11.
Yeah, Highway 11.
Highway 11. Highway 49, so basically right on top of that, Bear Creek, I know we mentioned you guys several times. Here's some of those towns we were just talking about minutes ago. Vinger, Linden, Lanier, Bear Creek, these are all towns that we were just mentioning to stay alert and on your toes. So we do have some brighter colors there, some greens and reds mixing together.
Yeah, there's a dark green right in here, so that would correspond with that dark red, so that's really a tight rotation, or a tighter rotation near Hughes Springs. And then, of course, our Titan indicator is also showing that. If you want to eventually widen out and give us a look at that Titan indicator and click on that, either one of those. I think the Cedar Springs area, I think we've already had a report there. It looked like there was something on the ground. I would agree with you on the Patman that there might be, and our tornado impact off of that's a 7.5. So, and that's in a tornado warned area.
Now I'm going to click on this one now.
For Cass County, and that goes again until 11:15. So we're about 15 minutes away from that tornado warning expiring. So we've had numerous warnings from time to time. So I'm trying to keep up to date with the National Weather Service and see what the...
Yeah, let's expand this out. I think, okay, so we have Houston and Cass counties right now that are under those tornado warnings. In Cherokee, Nacogdoches, and Rusk. That was the one that was just added on. But that's the one we were talking about when it didn't seem like there was tight rotation. But again, some areas that were bruised in the past, Alto especially. So, man, that rain's really coming down in our area.
Yeah, it's raining right now back here at the station again, real heavily. If you want to, you can take a shot. I would say we have the Chase Bank building camera up. You might be able to see the rain off in the distance.
Let me switch
We're going to switch over here to our CBS 19 studio camera and give you a view from that vantage point there. But you can see right now on the screen, we've got the Alto and Rusk, and that's a tight rotation there to the southwest of Alto and southwest of Rusk. All right, so now we're looking at a live picture here from the CBS 19 studio camera. Where we should be starting to see some perhaps lightning. I haven't heard much in the way of thunder. That's been, I think, something interesting with some of these cells that have moved across. There's been lightning. I just haven't heard any thunder here in Smith County.
There hasn't been a lot of hail.
Or hail.
Unlike our system, a couple weeks ago, that was producing more hail than anything. But
yeah. Let's see. Let's go in. I'm going to turn on this another product here. We'll zoom in on that Cherokee County storm. And again, if you're in Cherokee County, you're going to want to make sure that you are sheltering at this time. We've got a tornado warning for parts of Cherokee County. The city of Alto is included in that. I've got our debris tracker on right now, but we're not seeing anything in the way of debris. There's probably some hail within that cell. So that's going to be good news at this point. So I'll turn that off, and let's see if we can pick up some hail within that cell. I'll turn off the lightning. And the lightning will reveal, yeah, there's a little bit of hail in there, but not a ton at this time.
You'd say this is probably nickel-sized hail?
Yeah, probably so. All right, I'm going to go back to, we'll go back to reflectivity here. All right, so you can see it looks like right now over the city of Tyler, the rain is expanding again.
Yeah.
And look at the thunderstorm in Cherokee County near Rusk. Wow.
And Brett was talking earlier about how these are training storms, and that's why on top of all of this, on top of these tornado warnings, the severe thunderstorms, hey, we have also a high flood threat for tonight. Some areas could have up to 5 inches of rain, maybe even a little bit more than that. Our morning meteorologist, Chandler Jordan, was showing that this morning, and that's because you can see we have these training storms. So these storms are not warned right now that are coming out from Athens and Canton and beyond that in the Bryan area, but they're producing a heck of a lot of rain. Right now we can hear those heavy raindrops, fat raindrops pelting down on our ceiling. But we do want to go back to this tornado warning because, of course, the tornado warnings are very important. But I did want to mention, outside of these tornado warnings, once they expire, the threats don't end there. We still have the threat for some high water. So we likely will be talking about that tomorrow morning as we enter into our Tuesday. But we still have this tornado warning for Cherokee, Nacogdoches, Rusk counties. Alto has been a bruised area in the past. Brett's going to zoom into this. It doesn't look like it's rotating too much right now, but boy, look at all that lightning. A good sign that this is strengthening up here, and very heavy rain. Look at that. So whenever we get that gray area, that just is meaning that we have something heavy coming down, which we have not seen large hail with these storms. We've seen maybe nickel-sized hail. That's about it. I think we had a larger hail reading way earlier this afternoon as these storms kind of started crossing into our region. But really, it's a high winds, high rain event with frequent lightning and, of course, those tornado warnings, too.
Yeah, so this is the new tornado warning just issued. This just came out. This is going to include...
Okay, so this is the one that's coming out from Gregg County and...
Yeah, so this is going to be Cass County.
Okay.
So we're going to have Cass County also included in that. I'll click on this and we'll see if it'll give me the...
Still got these little notches like down here.
Yeah, so this is going to be Cass County and Bowie County until 11:45.
Okay, all right. So, but it looks like it wants to continue trucking out towards Louisiana. But yes, so as Brett just said, this is the latest update. Cass and Bowie County now added to this tornado warning till 11:45. And this particular cell has been causing some problems. You can see the areas hatched. That's under this yellow box here would be a severe thunderstorm warning. We actually have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings there, and that's because we just had a very strong potential, very strong storms, and then a potential tornado too. We're getting reports of some tree damage, also some damage to homes over in Upshur County. I know the emergency fire department, they went out to, I think it was Upshur County, and they were checking on a residence there. So again, this is a tornado warning coming from that cell that we were just talking about over in Gilmer County, now moving into areas like Linden. Actually, Linden, you guys are kind of spared from it right now. You're under the tornado warning, but the heaviest of rain. Brett, could we get the velocity on there so we can see?
Yes, I'm going to do. I will click on that right now, so we can see that. And let me switch this over to the National Weather Service velocity. I feel like that's a better depiction. So there's several different areas. That's either a very wide circulation with that red and green, and that looks like that's outside of it. So I think the area that we're looking at is right in here. We've got this tighter, brighter green and red and pink. Let me look, I'll put on the associated legend with that so we can see, and then we will move this to the top for us so we get that out of the way. You were talking about some damage. So that we have house damage, windows blown out located on Highway 154 between Farm to Market Road 555 and 1650.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
and that's in Upshur County?
I'm thinking that's coming from Upshur. It doesn't list exactly where, but I believe that sounds like Upshur County.
Okay.
Because that was where, or out toward Ore City. It seems to be Highway 154 was out in that direction. So once it went past Gilmer and headed a little bit farther to the east. So we may have sort of a longer track there.
Okay.
What do you want me to do? Want me to track or?
Yeah, let's track it.
Okay, so I'm going to pan out. And wow, it is raining. It is raining so hard here. I mean, we knew this was going to happen. All right, so let me pick it up from right in here. They're moving northeast roughly at about 40. So I know that's kind of a small.
All right, yeah, so from this particular little red and green signature that we have here, Linden, O'Farrell, Atlanta, Domino, Hoot, Architects, these are some of the areas, which again, I apologize if I'm pronouncing your area wrong, which I need to travel more. But we need you guys, if you are under this tornado warning in Cass County, please, please, please seek shelter.
I think those are over on the Louisiana side. I think,
Oh, okay. All right,
I think
well.
we're forgiven.
All right.
All right, let me.
So this is like now heading into the Arklatex region, at least this
Yeah.
particular cell. How's that cell in Houston County doing?
Let's go down and look at that, because that has moved into portions of Cherokee County too, and it looks like that is also going to sneak up into southwestern Rusk now.
Okay.
So let me go back and look at that, and we're looking at the velocity. I'm not really looking at storm relative, just velocity out of this. So let me see there. Let's go storm relative mean velocity. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot better.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the cell around Alto.
Yes.
Again, pretty broad rotation with that.
Yeah.
But again,
Rusk, Alto, and Alto, yeah. We can't say it enough. I know there's a lot of mobile homes out that way. Broad rotation, but still we have to take these tornado warnings very seriously, especially for a bruised area like Alto. I'm sure there's still families out there that are still feeling the impacts of previous storms. So please heed to our advice and take these tornado warnings seriously. If you're out on the road, I hope you've been listening to us on our radio partners. We've been cutting in all night, and we will continue cutting in until these tornado warnings go. Here we go. We just get a little bit of circulation. Okay, so it's trying. We also have a little bit trying to spin out there by Frankston, but
yeah. Let me see what inside. We don't have much of a tornado impact. Again, that's a pretty broad circulation, but
high winds. Yeah.
we were talking about this. The wind impact. So what could happen? We could be seeing a collapsing thunderstorm in this instance. That's why we get the bright green moving west of Highway 69. There's a big thunder.
Ooh.
And then toward Rusk, you get that bright red. So we may have a thunderstorm that's simply just sort of expelling all the wind that it has. We could have lots of cold air upstairs that's just falling out of it. So that's a possibility with that. And that might be why we're seeing more of a wind impact than, say, tornado impact. The flood impact now is starting to come up a little bit. But I was going to say, the ones up in Wood and Upshur County, those looked somewhat unmenacing. And then quickly, we had a very tight rotation, and we had a touchdown at Gilmer, and it was a short amount of time. I mean, it was no time at all.
Yeah, and those families, is Gilmer in the clear yet? Can we go back to reflectivity so we can see?
Yeah, let me go back to that.
I mean, they still are under a severe thunderstorm warning. I got to step off screen.
No, it's good.
Okay.
I'm just switching back between products, and that really kind of, that's easy to do.
Okay, so Gilmer has a little bit of some breathing room here. Man, somebody's bowling a mean game upstairs. Okay, so Gilmer, and this used to be a bowling alley. That's actually pretty funny. But Gilmer has a little break right now from the heavier rain, but out by Ore City, just north of that, look at that. So our Titan indicator, again, spinning out that way. That's probably from earlier, saying that, we could have had something touchdown. We had something touchdown over in Gilmer. We won't 100% know until the National Weather Service survey team goes out. But what you guys can do is, if you are in any of these areas that likely did have a touchdown, you don't have to get out of your safe spot. All you can do is text us from your phone, 903-600-2600. You can send us a picture of you in your safe spot. You can send us a picture of maybe some storm damage you may have received from a friend. But of course, we want you to be safe. Don't go outside taking pictures just because you're thinking we're asking you to. That's not what we're asking. We're asking if you are safe, let us know that you're safe. You can email us and just say, I'm safe. That's all we need to hear. So tornado warning. Okay, so we have this in Cass County. Also, we have some areas indicating a little bit of rotation. We're seeing the reds and the greens out there. It's very broad. We would have to have this a little bit tighter. But again, these storms, this particular cell, had a history of touching down. We had wide debris spread across the area. That's why we're thinking that something did touch down over in Upshur County. Also, we're getting a couple reports of some damage out in Upshur County. So That would make sense. So this is Cass County going off to the Arklatex tornado warning that goes until 11:45 p.m. So we're going to continue cutting in here. And Brett, do you want to go on to the correlation coefficient to see if we can see any more debris?
Yeah,
or?
yeah, sure, we can do that. The National Weather Service is saying that this rotation that they're seeing in Cass County
Outside of Linden? Are we looking at-
is showing some broad rotation, but they're going to
Okay.
keep the tornado warning going for now. But I will switch back over to the CC and see what we have there.
Also, look at this. That just caught my eye. Out by Longview, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. But again, these are
okay.
little things that we have to look for. You know, we
Right.
just,
Well, and we know that in a severe thunderstorm warning, a tornado can and occasionally do spin up. And this type of cell, where we have this sort of wavy line pattern, we can get these notch tornadoes that form in there, and those can be the scariest. I've seen a lot of these at night like this. I'm going to zoom in on that and turn on the Titan indicator because I just want to see what's going on, because I think that's a great observation on your part in terms of like
yeah. So this is what we're looking at
what's
right now.
going on
Brett's
there.
going to turn on.
Yeah, look, I mean, we're talking about, oops, I double
And
clicked
again,
on
we're
it.
under a severe thunderstorm warning in this particular area that we're observing right now. So Brett's checking this out because when we see this kind of like a little hairy groove, and especially a notch going into it, that's when we get a little bit concerned. So, and our Titan indicator here is saying that, well, there could be a little bit of rotation. Let's see, tornado impacts of 5. So if it gets a little bit higher than that, then we know, which I wouldn't be surprised if they did put another severe a tornado warning on this.
Let me turn back on velocity and see what we're seeing. We'll go storm mean relative. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we might have another tornado warning coming toward south of Ore City, this time toward Harleton and over into Marion County. So
And
Harrison,
this would still be Upshur County, correct?
yeah,
Basically,
yes.
where we just had,
Yeah, you're right. It's eastern Upshur County, maybe that little corner, almost like peninsula of Gregg County, where that sticks up just a little bit. That seems to be just west of there.
This looks like to be
Yeah.
Gregg County, Upshur County, and then zooming in here.
So it's just northeast of East Mountain and Highway 259. So
Yep.
if you live there, I would
And
say,
is that Highway 154 that they were was that what they
Yes.
were talking about, where the storm damage
yes.
was?
So that was east of Gilmer, out toward Ore City. So it might have been east of Gilmer where that storm damage is, and this
Okay.
may be moving right over top of that again.
Okay, all right. So yeah, if you take our advice, you're not under a tornado warning over in Upshur and Gregg County, but you need to be careful because that area that we just thought got hit could be getting hit again, which is very possible. Hey, it's late at night. East Texas is known for pine trees, it's the piney woods, and sometimes these rain-wrapped tornadoes or spin-ups, especially in the piney woods region, especially at night, it's kind of hard to spot to the naked eye and to radar. So this is why we kind of have to use context clues here. And so this is why we're examining this area right now, even though it's not under a tornado warning, because we're seeing a little bit of rotation here. We're seeing the reds and greens together. And also when we were on reflectivity, we saw that little notch kind of on that leading edge. And that's things that we have to look for as forecasters, as meteorologists, to say, hey, something looks funky, and we have to investigate. So currently under a severe thunderstorm warning, Upshur and Gregg County, you likely got hit with something because we saw some debris about, what was that, maybe an hour ago. But you may not be in the clear quite yet. We're just asking you to text us, let us know what you hear outside. You can text 903-600-2600. Please do not come out of your safe place. I know that the tornado warning has been lifted, but we want you to stay away from any windows. And Brett is now going down to our other tornado warnings. So that was our severe thunderstorm warnings we were talking about. Now we're going down to our other tornado warning, which is in Rusk County, Cherokee County, and just outside Alto. Look at that.
Yeah,
So,
this is tightened up a little bit.
yeah, so Alto, we had concerns about you not too long ago because, again, you're a bruised area. We know you have been through some hard times with previous storms. You want to take the storm seriously. You are under that tornado warning. So, and we're seeing a little bit of tightening here. Look at this. It kind of wants to go, one's going one way towards the radar, the red's going away. And then,
yeah, if I was in Alto, I would definitely shelter up, and Linwood.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Highway 21, Highway 69, please, if you are, just hang tight. You are under this tornado warning, and it looks like it's right on top of you, at least what we're seeing on radar right now. So you really need to be careful. Also, a couple other towns here, if we can get, it looks like Linwood,
track, yeah.
Atoy.
Let's see. Looneyville, are you looking? Oh, yeah, Atoy. So the Weather Service is saying that in their estimation, this is a broad rotation. They haven't had any reports of anything on the ground yet. That doesn't mean that there couldn't be something, especially looking at this signature, but that is a fairly broad rotation. Let me track that, and we'll put this. I think these are all sort of now moving at about 40 miles an hour. I mean, they are racing.
Yeah, every now and again I saw 50 miles per hour, but okay.
Yeah, I slowed that one down to 30 just to kind of give it an estimation or a safer bet. So that's Linwood, 11:20, so that's in 3 minutes. Atoy in about 8 minutes.
Over here.
Reclaw at 11:30, Cushing 11:43, Anadarko 11:49, Laneville near midnight, and then Lawsonville after midnight.
Point.
And here's a new severe thunderstorm warning, and of course that's going to be Cass County, so they are likely going to go severe thunderstorm warning till 12:15 on that portion of the cell as it moves out of the area. So I think that's what we're looking at. The end of that tornadic cell. I'll go back down to this one. This is the main show right now, and I think if there's
look at that.
Yeah, there's on reflectivity, it's certainly a scary looking cell.
You can even see, like, it looks like it even has that kind of like that turning motion. So that is a little worrisome.
Yeah.
Over by Cushing. Okay.
Here, what I'm going to do, I want that on there. I'm going to widen it out. I'm just trying to get a feel for, you can see what else is coming in behind that.
Mount Enterprise, and another area. Look at that. Laneville. I just saw Mount Enterprise here. So Mount Enterprise is not in the tornado warning right now, but listen, I would get ready again. And we were talking about bruised areas. We were just talking about Alto, which, by the way, the storm's right on top of Alto right now. Mount Enterprise, this time last year, on March 26th, we had a tornado touch down in Mount Enterprise, so you guys need to buckle up. The tornado warning is just outside of your region. Please, please, please take this seriously.
Look at that. So check that out. That just tightened up. So Alto, please be in your shelter. I think we may have a tornado touching down on the northeast side of Alto, just to the east of Highway 69. So that's, that looks very, very, very suspicious. I'm going to draw this out again. Going about 40 miles an hour. We need everybody upstream toward Dotson and Cushing, Glen Fawn, Laneville, Brockfield, Dotson, and Sackle to be in your shelter. So now I'll zoom in on the, let me zoom in on the Alto area, because I think we may have to go into street level here to see what's happening. I need to get rid of the cone
We have
first.
Highway 21 there. So right where Highway 21 is, that Highway 69 intersects.
Yeah, so right there. If I go in any tighter, I kind of get into this weird range folding thing there from the two radar sites, but I'll try to do as best I can. So so that's, it's just really tough, because once I go, they're just at such a place that if I go too far to one side, I lose them, but I have a better view of it when I widen it back out. So that red and green right there on the northeast side of Alto, there could be a tornado.
Yeah. All right. So Alto, hopefully, if you're listening to us right now, we hope and pray that you are in your safe place. A safe place, again, we have to keep going over this. It is not inside a mobile or manufactured home. If you're inside a mobile or manufactured home, honestly, you may be better off in a store, or I know you can't get to a store right now. Brett, what would you suggest if they're in a mobile or manufactured home? I mean, even outside, if you have a ditch outside that you can lay flat with your hands over your head, because the problem is those mobile manufactured homes become airborne. So
they can be tossed. I've been to several different, one of the tornado conferences in Oklahoma City a couple years ago, where we were talking about it's better to remain sheltered wherever you are than to leave your shelter. There were numerous people, I believe, killed in the 2013 Moore tornado that left their shelter and tried to run to a sturdier building, and they were hit by debris.
Okay.
So a lot of people think I need to get to. We talk about that a lot, but sometimes, ideally, you want to evacuate those mobile homes beforehand.
Right. Okay.
If you can't, then it's best to be, somewhere where you're just, you get in, you get down, you get covered. Look at this. I'm just not liking what I'm seeing there. That's northeast of Alto. I'm going to go to the correlation coefficient and see if we pick up any debris, because that may be, there's something.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Okay. Yeah.
Being lofted in the air. Yes. Look at that, being lofted in the air east of Alto. So I think we could be trees, could be, yeah.
Yeah, something, and it's not hail. We know that
Yeah.
because we really haven't seen large hail with these systems. So as Brett just said, this is the correlation coefficient part of the radar, and this is where we can see kind of things being thrown around. Something's being caught on the radar that's allowing these brighter colors, these yellows and these greens, away from the reds. So that's saying that something is a little off, and it's not hail, which sometimes hail could give that reading, but we're not seeing large hail with these systems. So that means that, you know, it could be trees down, it could be debris tossed around, but yeah.
Yeah, so Cushing, please be in your shelter right now. Yeah, the greens, anytime we start seeing the green, what we're looking at are what we call non-meteorological targets. So in some instances, sometimes on some nights when the sky is clear, we'll see bugs and insects. Well, these aren't bugs and insects. If they were orange and kind of a yellow, it might be ice giving off a reflectivity, but they would all have the same sort of correlation. The fact that this correlation is so far away from the red and the orange, and it's more of a green and white, that's something that is absolutely not ice and not water. So there's something there getting tossed or lofted into the air, and it may be some debris.
Brett, is there any way we can see Mount Enterprise on here? I know they're not in the tornado warning, but I'm thinking that they're downstream.
Yeah, they are. They're just outside
Okay,
of
they're
it.
just, okay.
Yeah, let me go back to.
I just saw that pop up. I think it's right here, right where 259 and 84.
Yes, that's
or
exactly,
60
there it is.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
so there's Mount Enterprise.
So Mount Enterprise, you're just outside of this polygon. And again, this time last year, we just had a strong storm. I was there, I saw the damage. Please get into your safe place. I know that some of you are probably still facing hardships from the storm last year. So please, we do not want to see that repeated again. Make sure you get into your safe place because this storm is likely throwing some debris around. We just went over that. It's it started to tighten up. And yeah, that's the latest storm that we are tracking. Brett, do you want to switch off here?
Yeah, I'm just communicating right now with someone from asking me who lives in Bullard and telling me that they're just getting light rain and lightning right now.
Okay.
They're hanging out and watching us, and I'm just want them to be safe. If they feel like they're okay, they're okay. So Brandon Thorne with the National Weather Service in Shreveport saying still some very broad rotation from what they can see on the storm in Cherokee County. Another report coming from a ham operator, property damage east of Gilmer on Farm to Market Road 1649 near Williams Road. That's west of FM 1972. So it does look like we've had some damage, possibly injuries in Upshur County and in parts of near Gilmer.
Wow.
All right, so you want me to widen out a little bit here? I'll go back to velocity.
Yeah.
We thought we might have had something a little tighter. See, there's still that's a tight rotation.
Yeah.
It's a very tight rotation. So the tornado warning continues. I know we're looking at this cell from probably at about 7,000 to 8,000 feet up. The way the radar over in Shreveport is scanning into this storm. So yeah, there could be a very strong mid-level rotation with this storm that's just simply not making it to the ground. But, to me, better safe than sorry. I mean, if you're in Alto, I think you're in the clear. If you're listening to us, I think you can come out. But if you are upstream in Cushing, I think if you live out just north of Highway 21, if you live near Lilbert or Atoy, or even Nat, I'd say get to the shelter and just hang out there, Looneyville for sure. Just out in those places, Cushing, Caro, Sackle, Central Heights. I'm not sure which way this cell is going to turn. It looks like now it may be producing a little bit of hail, and it looks like maybe that's weakened just a little bit. Here's the Titan indicator on that cell. So tornado impact is 0. That's good news. Wind impact, though, is 9. So this might be just producing some very strong wind gusts that we're picking up off of velocity. Hail impact is a 5, flood impact's a 4. And the probability of hail inside that storm is right now 100%.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll switch off the sweeping radar, and let's go check out the hail and see what we're picking up there. All right. So there's some hail. Doesn't look big.
Nickel size, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe quarter size.
Yeah. We'll do a little estimation here. I mean, yeah. We have the warning on. But yeah, I think you're right. Just by a quick look at that, that's probably quarter-sized hail at best. So and that's going to head toward Cushing. So maybe Nichols, half inch. So maybe some Nichols. Yeah. So again, that's not. We've seen a lot worse than that. And I'll turn back on. Let's see. We'll go back to our storm tracks, and then we'll put back on the radar so that we can get kind of a feel for what's happening there. Okay. All right. Let me erase that, and there we go. All right. So that's still a very, the cell's rotating. It looks more impressive from this vantage point, and I, to me, it looks like there could be something. And again, it's nighttime, so we don't know for sure. But that's a strong signature.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. The National Weather Service saying at 11:24, which we just passed that time, they were going within Cherokee, Nacogdoches, Rusk County tornado warning till 11:45. There's another severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Sackville, about 15 miles east of Rusk, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Marangeli has a live picture over from Mount Enterprise. All right, let's take it. Okay. Okay.
So
all right.
yeah,
She's
she'll be
working
ready.
at it.
She'll be ready here in just a second.
Is she in Mount Enterprise, Justin?
All right.
Okay.
So
all right.
she's made her way up from Lufkin.
All right. She's okay. All right. So there is a view in Mount Enterprise, which. Oh, look at that. Okay, we got some lightning. Maybe if we can get the lightning again. There we go. I do see some waves in the clouds. I don't really see any shelfiness quite yet. Oh,
Well,
look
what
at
is
that.
that
I do
little
see it. I
feature?
do see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
what
can
is
you bring
that?
us up so we can point this out if it once we get the lightning strike?
Don't
which
you
we
wish you
can't. Yeah, like now. Yeah. There is a little bit of. Okay, they want me to step off. There is a little bit of shelfiness there.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
a
here we
feature
go.
definitely
Look
up
at
there.
that. All right. So yeah, we're seeing a little bit of shelfiness. So we have those winds that are probably, well, now the storm system's moving in, which Marangeli, you're going to have to probably take shelter here pretty soon. I don't know how long they can. Okay, she has a safe place, so that's good. So Mount Enterprise, this is a live look. Our reporter Marangeli Lopez is out there right now. This is Mount Enterprise. We're seeing frequent lightning. They are not currently under the tornado warning, but I would not be surprised if the tornado warning, or at least a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado tag on it, was expanded into Reclaw and Mount Enterprise, two areas that were just hit with tornadoes this time last year, March 26th. And this is a live look right now. Look at that. Wow. That is pretty ugly. So every now and again, we get some. Oh, are they turning?
Hey, have them take our studio camera. I've got Stephen F. Austin camera up here, and you can really see this lowering. Check this out. Check this out when it comes up here on the. It'll come up here just a little bit. I just panned over to it.
Here, Brett, you want to step on?
Yeah. Let's see. Hopefully that'll pop up. It takes a little bit of a delay sometimes for it to pop up here. We got another severe thunderstorm warning currently. So let me first go to that, and then we will pop up on the camera view. All right. So the severe thunderstorm warning looks like we have a new one until 11:30. That's back in Gregg County. So we put Gregg County back in another severe thunderstorm warning out to Marion and Harrison County. All right. So that's up to the northeast. All right, so I wonder why that it has not moved, or we can't see it on our camera lens here. But I'm going to, here we go. You should be able to see the Nacogdoches camera here real soon. I've panned it over. And it has a really great cloud feature on it that gives us another perspective of what Marangeli was seeing out at Mount Enterprise. And Mount Enterprise right now has that tornado warning just on the edge. So this is the severe thunderstorm warning here now for Gregg County. That's going to go until 11:30, but this is a new one here, which we're going to have to pan up. This tornado warning goes to 11:45 for parts of Rusk County. And then we have the new severe thunderstorm warning that goes till 12:15. So that's going to be right in here. So this is the new severe thunderstorm warning going out toward Jefferson and Marshall. And we've got heavy rain, Gilmer. So, oh man, I just hate to see that because folks we got some damage in Gilmer, and now we have heavy rain moving back into Gilmer. once again. Just not what you want when you're trying now to sort of sift through whatever's happened out there, and they have rescue efforts underway, I'm sure, and they've had some people that we've had reports of being injured out in parts of Upshur County. Here's Gregg County. Gregg County's in that severe thunderstorm warning. That goes until 12:30, so this was just issued. Orr City is also in that, and that goes back toward Winona and Hawkins. All right, let's go back down to the south to that storm that we've been watching over Cherokee County. That's the tornado-warned storm. That goes until 11:45. It's about 14 more minutes on it. There's Cushing, Sackle. So the hardest part of that storm now has moved away from Alto and is now moving to, here's Mount Enterprise. Outside of that, there's the southwestern parts of Rusk County, New Salem. Reclaw is inside of the polygon. Goes over to 259 coming north toward Mount Enterprise. So if you're in Cushing, hopefully you're still listening to us and you are sheltered. There may be some hail from time to time and certainly some heavy rainfall. And then Highway 84, right now, heavy rainfall going over toward Mount Enterprise. So that goes all the way back toward Reclaw. All right, so let's go back to a live shot in Mount Enterprise. So the rain is starting to move in there. Okay, so check that out. You got the trees that you can see being highlighted by the lightning. Look at the rain coming down. Yeah,
wow.
It is.
A sheet of rain.
It is pouring right now. And this is our videographer, Alan Casper, who is capturing that rain that's coming down. You can see how hard it's raining. This is going to be another part of the story. Let's not overlook now, as we head through the overnight hours, we'll transition from this severe weather threat to a flash flood threat. All right, so this is by no means just because some of the severe weather will move out of your area within the next 2 hours. Then you've got this threat now of heavy rain that will move in. Thunder, lightning, and we are talking about rainfall rates easily 1 inch an hour, could be 1 to 2 inches an hour. There are areas forecast over Deep East Texas to have 5 to as upwards as 7 inches of rainfall. So that's going to cause flash flooding for sure. So that's just a lot of rain, a lot of lightning. You see that much lightning, you know you've got a very convective storm. When you have lightning like that, you know, one, it's increasing, two, it has the capability of producing a lot of rainfall.
That's not fireworks. That looks like the fireworks finale, not even...
Not at all. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so it looks like the Nacogdoches camera that I tried to pan over there, it never went over to get the shot of it, but it was a really interesting feature of a cloud that we were looking at. All right, so again, tornado warning to 11:45 that goes on for Cherokee and Rusk County and a little sliver of Nacogdoches County. I mean, it's interesting to see that the polygon just sneaks itself into Nacogdoches County, but really Nacogdoches County is not so much in that warning. All right, so here's what's been going on with this cell. It's at least in the mid-levels of the storm, so at about 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 feet up, where the radar beam is seeing it from not only Shreveport, but also from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. It's spinning. And if we widen this out and played this back all the way to Brian a couple of hours ago, this thing would just spin counterclockwise all the way to its current position. But right now, the rotation inside the storm itself appears to be broad enough that it is not creating a tornado warning. In fact, I like this shape here. I like this sort of, we'll call it a clockwise shape as opposed to a counterclockwise shape. So the fact that it's starting to show signs of that kidney bean tells me that, yeah, there could be some stronger winds, but not tornadic. It also tells me that perhaps it does not have, unless it's recycling, which is possible, it may just sort of maintain this shape here with heavy rain, lightning, and thunder and continue moving northeastward. So we like that sort of motion on it. We don't want it to see it spinning counterclockwise, spins counterclockwise. Now, granted, 2% of all tornadoes can spin what we'll call anticyclonic. All right, so if it's cyclonic is usually the counterclockwise, and that's typically what we think of tornadoes. I've seen a tornado spin anticyclonic. In fact, if you're familiar with Tiger King, Joe, right? Okay, so the tornado near Wynnewood that they show in that reality, in the reality show, a portion of that storm turned anticyclonically that day. Yeah, it's really, that was a bizarre situation. And I mean, it was kind of, in the reality show, he's standing in front of the tornado and, you know, taking the picture and stuff like that. But so that was in south central Oklahoma, and a portion, one of the cells near a couple of different tornadoes in that area, one of those was turning almost the way a high-pressure system turns. It was turning clockwise instead of or cyclonically. It was turning, instead of turning counterclockwise, it was turning clockwise. All right, I digress. So this severe thunderstorm warning continues moving toward Mount Enterprise at this time, and that severe thunderstorm warning goes until 11:45. So right now it's 11:35. We get about 9 more minutes to go on that cell as it moves up toward Dotson. It looks like first you get heavy rain. You get this heaviest cell right here toward Cushing. I would imagine there's a little bit of hail in there. But again, it's been nickel-sized hail. It hasn't been that big at all. All right, so Colleen, let's widen everything out here. And let's see what's coming up next. So I think we're about ready now. So we're gonna turn this all sort of over from tornadoes. And if we widen this out just a little bit, I want to show you what's coming up the pipe. All right, see this all the way back here, Austin, up toward Jacksonville. This is all gonna slowly move across the area over Deep East Texas overnight. This is going to train. So this is where you're going to start to see 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rainfall. So this is not going to be, and in fact, some of this is already starting to spread up towards Smith County. So we'll have to watch out now for flash flooding, really from Palestine, I think, to Longview and south and east of this, now between now and 5 a.m. So that's how much longer all of this is going to last. All right, so it's a long haul here tonight. Austin right now just cleared those thunderstorms. They are on the backside of most of this heavy stuff. All right, so let's, so we're backing that up and we're putting that into motion. So this is the tornado warned storm right now. I think this is the only tornado warned storm for the moment. Well, there's that little bit of one up into Bowie County, northern Cass County, Bowie County, and so that's moving away. I have not heard any reports of that creating any more. That's the cell that moved through Gilmer and Upshur County that we have damage reported with.
Yeah, Brett, there's a couple of reports that came in about 3 or 4 minutes ago. I'll start reading them off.
Okay.
Cass County has 3-inch tree limbs broken, power poles down. That's over in about 7 miles west of Linden. And let's see, shingles blown off. That's also in Linden, 7 miles west of Linden, excuse me. Let's see. That's the same thing. They were just correcting the time. And then also, going back to Gilmer, I know we keep focusing on Gilmer, but they're likely going to have to send out a survey team there tomorrow. Fire department says that houses have sustained damage in the area. Highway 154, that's that highway we kept looking at, and Azalea Road. Let's see, some of the relatives out of the fire department have major damage to their residences located on an intersection of FM 1649 and Gardenia Road east of Gilmer. So Gilmer, it seems like Gilmer and Linden are a couple, and yeah, Gilmer and Linden. Oh, okay, they're inside the Whataburger.
Okay, so let's take another live picture here. This is going to be from Modern Jelly and Alan Casper, and they are inside a local restaurant down there looking outside. So they are out of the rain, and they are shooting video to the outside where we can still, this is Mount Enterprise, by the way, where we can still consider to have, or continue to have very heavy rainfall, though it looks like it's lightened up a little bit there, but a lot of lightning off in the distance. So really electrically charged storms moving across now East Texas. So these are going to be heavy rain producers. Once we lose the tornadic features.
They said National Weather Service, Brandon, he just says that they might issue a tornado warning downstream for Rusk. For
Rusk County? Mm-hmm. So that one's turning enough still. All right, so let's go back in and investigate that one.
Okay.
It looks like, yeah, they let it push all the way, but maybe we turn on velocity and see what's happening inside that storm. So we've been able to really dissect these storms. Now, earlier I thought for sure there had to be something down in Cherokee County, boy, the tight rotation we were seeing there. But again, could have been a tight rotation, 7,000 feet, wasn't reaching the ground, but still, that's a pretty intense rotation nonetheless. So yeah, it's still there. I mean, there's still rotation, it's just moved outside of this. So we are anticipating then the tornado warning going Rusk County northward, probably to Panola, is what my guess would be, right? So right in there is our still very broad circulation. So there's Laneville, and then you come all the way. So I'm going to guess this is probably, as the crow flies, about 10 miles wide. So that's a pretty wide circulation right now on that cell. Again, if it tightens up, it's moving over Mount Enterprise toward Dotson. But as that tightens up and moves northeastward, well, I was off a little bit, 20 miles. So that's a pretty wide circulation right now. We like, typically if we're looking for the tornado warning, we want that to be less than 2 miles. If it's less than a mile, then we really have some concerns that we've got that tight rotation and that thing's starting to spin like a top and produce a very strong tornado on the ground. So that's Mount Enterprise going northward, 259 also coming back to the north away from Mount Enterprise. And all of those areas currently are seeing heavy rain and this wide rotation at this time. So we've been in contact or monitoring the National Weather Service chat room all night long. We've heard reports of some damage up in the Upshur County, Gilmer area. We've seen debris on our radar tonight. I'm sure we will catalog all of this. There will be, of course, reports throughout the day tomorrow morning on the Morning Loop. Chandler Jordan is coming in here in about 20 minutes, and he'll be tracking some of the storms as we go through the overnight hours up until about 5 a.m. And then when I think most of the thunderstorms will start to move out between 5 and 7 over Deep East Texas, it may still be raining as late as 8 or 9 down in Sabine and San Augustine County. But right now, that's the rotation that they did not extend the tornado warning yet.
Not
Colleen.
yet. No, yeah, not yet. They're waiting.
So they're waiting. So perhaps they're waiting to see if that tightens back up. So is that's the only? Are we still looking at that tornado warning up in Cass County then still?
Yeah, I
Or
think
Bowie?
that they're just waiting for that one to exit.
And that one ends at what time? 11:45. So that's in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So we may actually be able to go back to regular programming here. And we probably stay on a little bit past that just to make sure that we've cleared all of these thunderstorms out of the area. All right, so that's the tornado warned storm. Right now, Laneville to Mount Enterprise, that it's come out. And this warning is also till 11:45, so that's for about 2.5 more minutes in the Cushing area. But certainly if you live in Alto, you're safe. You can come out of your shelter. Laneville right now, Mount Enterprise, you're watching very carefully. You're going to have some wind no matter what. This is going to come across, and the wind is going to blow, and the rain and the thunder and lightning. It's going to be a noisy storm. As we've seen from Modern Jelly Lopez's pictures and Alan Casper down in Mount Enterprise, they've been shooting back to the north, and we've seen, the sky is just like, new tornado warning. Okay. So
This is for Rusk and Panola.
Okay, so Rusk, Panola until 12:30. So we're going to carry this through till 12:30 now. Okay, so it looks like, so just Rusk and Panola, or what are we catching up here in the northwest? I guess that's a portion of Rusk. Yeah, Rusk County, Panola County, and that is going to be it. So we'll zoom in on that. That's going to include Mount Enterprise. So again, if you're in Mount Enterprise, Laneville, time to go to the shelter. Okay. We wanted to say, severe thunderstorm warning. You could monitor that, but we got a tornado warning. So this is a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Doesn't mean that we'll see one produced, but with a circulation like that, time of night that we're seeing, then it is time to do the right thing, to do the safe thing, and that is head for your shelter. Ride this thing out for the next 45 minutes. Most interior room of your house could be a closet, could be a bathroom. Make sure you get there and you take shelter. You stay there. You can listen to us on one of our Alpha Media radio partners. Jack or 106.5 Jack FM. We got Kicks 105. We've got The Ranch and La Invasora. You can listen to any of those and monitor with the radio. So you don't need your TV. You can take the radio in there, and we are broadcasting, simulcasting on there right now. So you can easily do that.
Max 1's taking a little breather.
Oh, it is.
So
okay.
we might have to bring on Max 2. Sometimes our computers get tired too.
It's going to crash on us, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to our sky cam. Outside, let's take our sky cam.
Put it in Nacogdoches, or?
Yeah, we'll go to that. Well, first of all, get that shot, get that the radar centered up, and we'll look outside. So this is what's currently happening in Tyler. We got heavy rain. We've had one or two rounds of heavy rain come through, and now this is going to be kind of this is the transition from your severe event, your wind, hail, tornado threat, to heavy rain. So now we're starting now to transition to the other side of this storm system. And this is where we turn it into heavy rain. We're coming up on midnight, but we've got probably 5 hours of rain like this. And especially between 1 and 5, over, let's call it Longview to maybe Palestine and southeastward all the way toward San Augustine and Hemphill. So all of that rain has to slowly move along the cold front and move to the southeast. So it's going to take all night long. So there's going to be heavy rain in parts of East Texas all night long. So it's going to rain like that just tremendously throughout the night. And that's going to cause some flash flood concerns over parts of the area. So tomorrow morning or overnight, turn around. When you come up on high water, turn around. Don't try to drive through it. It doesn't take much water, fast flowing water. Maybe like 6 inches to a foot deep, it can move your car. It can take your car off a road. I know that sounds impossible, but believe me, it can happen. Water is very powerful. Water is the most corrosive yet most wonderful thing we have here on the planet Earth, and it is just a powerful source of energy, a powerful source of everything. I mean, we drink it, we rely on it, so water's amazing. And it is strong. All right, so let's take a look at, this is lightning right now, and we're looking at the Laneville. So there it is. There's another circulation.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this. Why? I don't know why it keeps, hold on a second, sorry. Okay, there it goes.
That's fine. That's a pretty good view. I mean, it gives us an idea between Glen Fawn, Anadarko, and Cushing that we've got a little bit of a... on reflectivity, though, you know, the one difference between last March 27th on the Mount Enterprise tornado, we, on that storm, on reflectivity, we had the signatures that were telling us that there was a tornado involved in that. Tonight, we're not seeing as much from reflectivity. We've used a lot of velocity to try to look inside these storms, which is one indication that perhaps these are sort of elevated rotations and not near to the surface until we get these brighter colors, and then we start to become concerned. But still, that's very wide. I mean, that's a wide rotation at this time. So Mount Enterprise, please go to your shelter. Stay there till 12:30. Laneville, Anadarko, shelter up, Lawsonville, you know, get in, get down, stay covered, stay sheltered until this all passes. This is going right along Highway 84 from west to east throughout parts of Rusk County now. So Rusk County, it'll eventually move over to Panola County, and then once we get past Panola County, it'll be out of the area, and the threat will start to move away. It'll start to move over into Louisiana throughout the night. So, yeah, we continue with these, let's see, what's our current situation here? We got the tornado warning for San Augustine County. Okay, so San Augustine County has been placed into a tornado warning. Yeah, let's see. We got Panola, Rusk, severe thunderstorm warnings still ongoing across most of the northern counties. And, oh, maybe that was a watch. San Augustine is in a watch. It's time for me to get new glasses. Or, yeah. So see, that tightens up again, and then you have the concern that this is going to be, okay, so right here, this is starting to tighten up again, all right? So we need you to be in your safe place. This is going to be near South County Road. There's Cushing, it's the north side of Cushing right now, and this is a tighter little circulation. I know this is just outside of the polygon, but Cushing, you need to be sheltered in place because, yeah, Colleen is circling that circulation, and that just, you know, the storm sort of recycled, and then it started to tighten back up again, and it looked like it was a wider rotation, and now it's kind of come back together. So that's certainly possible. Sometimes these storms will move out of certain environments and into better, conducive environments for tornado formation, and then instantly they'll spin up. They can do what they were doing all across Cherokee County, and that appears to have a broad rotation and never touch down, even though at times it looked to me that there might have been something trying to form and touch down, and then it moves into, say, some slightly better wind aloft, some maybe better humidity, perhaps an untouched part of the atmosphere, and then it just you know, it gets that little bit of extra strength that it needs, and it becomes a tornado. So this is right here north of Cushing, and we've got a tighter little rotation here. So there may be something to keep. And so we have a tornado warning. Because of that, the tornado warning goes until 12:30. So the National Weather Service was not giving up on this cell, even though they let it sneak outside of the polygon for a couple of minutes. But then, you know, in these types of environment, we've seen this a lot in East Texas, where you have a cell move across the area and it weakens, but what it does is it's recycling. So it weakens, it rebuilds a little bit of strength, it reorganizes, and then it becomes a better organized storm once again. So that may be what is going on here. across parts of Rusk County, and as this moves to the east. All right, so we are looking at, it looks like we lost the rotation there. Looks like Aaron Baker's coming back into the, okay, we thought he had some new information maybe perhaps on the Rusk County or the Upshur County storm. All right, let me see where I'm gonna,
It looks like did they broaden this out a little bit?
it might have, or they changed the scope on the what the product they're using. So perhaps.
Look at that. It's like right outside of Mount Enterprise. I mean.
Wow. Okay. And we're still using the same National Weather Service velocity, so they changed something there, perhaps trying to get a better feel for what's going on. I tell you what, on Max 2.
Max 2, yeah.
Let's go to Max 2.
Can we pull up Max 2?
Yeah, let's go to Max 2 over on the wall. And there it is. Okay, so that has a little better of a definition here. And so there was Cushing. There's our Titan indicator. So right in here is this broad rotation around Dotson. So the probability of hail is 100%, slightly less than severe hail. Wind impact is 9. It's telling us that there is a 0 tornado impact, so perhaps strong outflow winds from the storm. Hail impacts about a 4 to 5, and flood impacts about a 5. So that's this, Pine Hill, Dotson, back to Cushing. That's this tornado portion, or tornado warned portion of this polygon as it moves now into Panola County. So this is starting to move across southeastern Rusk County. City of Henderson, you're fine, okay? But this is the southeastern portion of Rusk County. There's Garrison. Colleen's just kind of tilting the radar a little bit just to give us a good indication of where Mount Enterprise is. So there's Glen Fawn. I think Glen Fawn's fine. Mount Enterprise, please be sheltered if you're listening, if you're just tuning in, you need to get to your shelter. I'm not sure exactly what you're experiencing there right now, but there could be Caledonia, Dotson, Brockfield, Arlem, okay, and this heads over toward Buncombe. And Timpson, even though Timpson, you're not in any kind of polygon right now, this may just move to the east, and you could find yourself in one in about 15 minutes to 20 minutes. So if that's the case, then you're going to want to be sheltered. Delray, Carthage. So Carthage upstream from this, I would imagine that as this polygon expands and moves to the east at some point between now and 1 a.m., Carthage will also be in the tornado warning. This looks like this is moving, or it's just really broadly rotating around that, Colleen, doesn't it?
Yeah. It
Okay.
looks like it's trying to tighten as it goes up towards like Brockfield.
Yeah.
And Pine Hill.
Okay. So
But,
yeah.
Okay, let's see.
So certainly an area of what it's reorganization. A little bit of a higher tornado impact on that now. It's still getting some wind. So
Northeast at 45.
So Pine Hill, right in here between Mount Enterprise and Pine Hill, I think, is what we're looking at. These are certainly not. One, it's nighttime, so it's harder to see because we're not getting a lot of spotter information. But two, these are certainly not your textbook sort of cells that we're seeing, at least looking at hook echoes and things of that nature. These are, I think, some of these are embedded, some of these are rain wrapped, some of these are spinning in the mid levels and then dropping quickly to the surface and then picking back up. Let me check out. I'm getting several messages off of on social media, so I'm trying to see if anybody's got some information for us.
Yeah, and Brett, while you're doing that, some of the towns that we could see this move towards, Delray at 12:10, shortly after midnight. Carthage, another area that's been bruised in the past from just last year, are strong storms, tornadoes. Grand Bluff, DeBerry around 12:36, 12:44, Panola, and 12:50 just before 1 a.m. Scottsville. So we're seeing if we're getting any messages. We do have a reporter out that way. Of course, we can't confirm anything until we get some damage reports and they survey the area. But it looks like there is some rotation trying to tighten up here. I want to zoom in on this a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm just getting reports. Some of these are older reports from.
Yeah, look at that. See, so if I put this back in time and go forward, just that little. What is that, 10, 15 minutes? It's really trying to make that counterclockwise rotation.
So it's trying to reorganize or tighten up just a little bit.
It looks like they just expanded the tornado warning a little bit to now cover Pine Hill. Dotson now included in that.
Yeah, so more of Panola County and eastern Rusk County also at this time.
Mm-hmm. Far southeast Rusk County.
Yeah, okay, so there's Henderson. So Henderson, you're fine. Pleasant Grove, you're fine. Henderson, if you were sheltering, you're fine. You can come out now if you're listening to us. Pine Hill, you need to be in your shelter. All right, so we're looking at the debris tracker. We've used this. There seems to be a little bit of debris showing up here again around. Look at that. That is near Dotson. All right, so, boy, wow. Okay. I don't think that's hail. So there might be something. It could be, easily it could be the wind. There's a lot of wind, so the wind, takes some tree leaves, blows it up in the air, and that's what the radar's seeing. Or we've got some kind of debris being lofted. And if that's the case, but look how it's spread out. If it's spread out, then it's been lofted from several miles back, or it simply was sort of a downburst wind that just pushed everything out. All right, so they just lost power in Mount Enterprise. So there may be something more significant down here around Mount Enterprise. If anybody sees a power flash down in there, then you may be looking at a possible tornado. And what I was looking at on that debris tracker could easily be debris being lofted into the air. That was a little different colored than what we've seen. And that would certainly be an indication, especially these dark blues, okay? So that could easily be something that's, it could be, I want to say tree, could be house. We don't know exactly what it is, but that's north of Mount Enterprise, and that's in that area with the tornado warning and the circulation. So that's near 315. So hopefully you've been sheltering in Mount Enterprise. Caledonia, you need to be sheltered because that debris is headed in your direction. Dotson over toward Buncombe, also headed in your direction. So if there's something that's back here that's spinning and lofting debris into the air, then that cell is moving through. And we just heard they lost power in Mount Enterprise. So something's knocking out power in Mount Enterprise, and it could easily be something on the ground. Could be a tornado, could be some very strong straight line winds. I simply don't know because it's almost midnight and we just haven't had any reports from spotters who can see much at this time of the night. Such a difficulty when it comes to nighttime tornadoes. We tried to stress that earlier this evening. We're hoping that people took us seriously when we talked about that. All right. What's the down? Let's see. Siren activated at Mount Enterprise at the fire station there. Okay, they got a report on Twitter of a well-known chaser of a large tornado just northeast of Cushing and west of Mount Enterprise. Any spotters in the area? Okay. Now we have this is a live picture from Mount Enterprise, and the power is out in Mount Enterprise. And sirens just went off. We just had that report too from the National Weather Service, and this is going to be a live picture where we have a crew sheltering at Mount Enterprise in the rain coming through there right now. So you can see that heavy rain spreading and pushing outward. Now we're going to keep an eye on that rain, and we don't want that rain to suddenly switch direction and start moving in the opposite direction. If that would be the case, then there would be a circulation heading right toward where our crew is. So that's something that we'll keep an eye on. Looks like it's just kind of raining and raining hard. All right, so here's what we know about Mount Enterprise. Let's go back to the Mount Enterprise storm. And we can go back to that debris tracker now that we're starting to feel a little bit better. We probably have had a tornado somewhere. There it is, that blue, east of Laneville, Mount Enterprise to the north. So the power's out Mount Enterprise. There's an unconfirmed report from Twitter of a large tornado between near Mount Enterprise. So that blue is likely going to be some kind of debris. And maybe not just twigs and branches. This could be portions of, housing material. So I'm a little concerned to say that and a little hesitant to say that, I should say. But just looking at that, then that gives me an idea that we certainly have the possibility of something big going on there. So let's stay with this. I know we have a flash flood warning. We'll get to that in a second. I feel like right now this is sort of very important because we've got Carthage downstream of this, and we have this debris
I was just going to say
there.
Carthage should be on alert, even though they're not under that warning.
So let's kind of, we can either go back to velocity or reflectivity. And we know we have Lawson and Dotson, you need to be sheltered up. I think it's right in here. So that's going to be our Titan indicator. It's indicating that there is rotation within this cell. There's Mount Enterprise, there's Caledonia, there's Dotson. So we could have a tornado right here to the southwest of Dotson moving toward Gary City, and Carthage is just upstream from that or downstream from that. So Brockfield, I think Pine Hill's fine, but it's right in here. And the city of Mount Enterprise may have been hit, or a portion of the city of Mount Enterprise may have been hit for the second year in a row, in the second March in a row. Caledonia, Dotson, over toward Timpson, toward Gary City, toward Tenaha. All right, Colleen, you want to click on the Titan indicator and see, we still, that tornado warning goes till 12:30 for Panola and Rusk County. And so what we're seeing there is a smaller tornado impact. Wind impact is 9. So again, you can have a tornado and not have the Titan indicator pick it up as well, perhaps as wind. It's picking it up more as wind, and that may be because it's just simply what it looks at is it's seeing some strong wind features coming out of that thunderstorm or that rotating cell. All right, so we'll take that down, and I saw the storm relative kind of move on that, so that's going to be right in here. So we have this green and red southwest of Dotson. Please, if you're in the Dotson area, Caledonia area, and that's north and east of Mount Enterprise, there's 315. If you would know anybody trying to drive into Mount Enterprise tonight, call them, tell them to hold wherever they are. Really need shelter, not be in your car driving through East Texas tonight. Buncombe is upriver of that, or downriver, I should say, as this storm starts to move in that direction and over into Panola County. So this is the tornado warning for Panola, Rusk County. That goes until 12:30. And this will continue up to the north and to the northeast. That does not, right, the city of Timpson is just outside of the polygon, but certainly needs to keep an eye on that. There's Mount Enterprise, there's Dotson. Again, so that tornado warning continues. All right, well, I'm going to go and check out this flash flood warning now, because this is going to be another portion of this.
Oh, I got it.
And this is going to be
Smith County and going into
Upshur.
Upshur County.
All right, so now we have
Looks like portions of Gregg County too.
And a flash flooding warning till 2 a.m. And we still have the severe thunderstorm warning with the tag on it for 12:30. So we still have to worry about the possibility of having another spin up here across Gregg County and Smith County down into northwestern portions of Rusk County with that storm. All right, and then let's see. We got a couple of other things we want to look at here. I think we can click on that, maybe not. All right, so let's go back to the velocity, or go back down to the cell that is, right here, southwest of Pine Hill, near Laneville and Dotson. Okay, there's Brockfield. So what we think, we can go back to the debris tracker if you want to now, because we have a pretty good feeling that we've had there, right there. Look at that. So we've got debris. There's something going on down there. There could be a large tornado headed over toward Carthage. So if you're watching us from Carthage, please get to your shelter now. I'm trying to give you an extra half-hour warning on these, okay? We've been doing that a lot tonight, is trying to give warning outside of these polygons because, one, these supercells have been turning since going all the way back to Bryan. This one goes all the way back to Bryan, Texas, maybe even a little farther southwest than that, but we really started keying in on it when it crossed and got into Bryan. And it's still going. And so it's been a long-tracked supercell. And it's been producing tornadoes from time to time. It may have taken a little break over Cherokee County, though, boy, the signatures there looked really strong. And then once it got into Rusk County and got closer to Mount Enterprise, this is when we started to see the debris signatures again. And then we started hearing unconfirmed reports of the city of Mount Enterprise, one being without power, and a large tornado somewhere near Cushing to about Mount Enterprise. So Cushing could have been hit, or part of Cushing, up to Mount Enterprise, and now what we're seeing is all of that debris being lofted into the air.
Hey, Brett, I'm going to interrupt you.
Sure.
We have an update through emergency management over in Mount Enterprise Fire Department reporting 2 houses, major damage, 1 missing a roof on FM 2496, 2 to 3 miles west of US 259. Also getting reports of multiple vehicle crashes in the area of US 84. Oh, this is sad. West of Mount Enterprise, Fire Department is about to respond when the rain clears up. So it seems like a lot of folks were out on the road. Unfortunately, if you are out on the road and you're in Carthage, you need to get moving. You need to seek shelter somewhere else, whether that's going in a store, a fast food chain, anything that you can get off the road. You do not want to be on the road, because we're receiving, and I saw a report on this in the National Weather Service chat a little while ago, of a couple crashes out in Mount Enterprise. You do not want to be in a car if there's a tornado warning. And Carthage, we're trying to give you a little bit of an extra warning here, because what you're looking at right now is the debris tracker. I'm going to step on here while Brett takes a break. And I don't have the clicker.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look for, I lost that debris signature that you had, unless that dark blue one right there west of Dotson is it. And you mentioned a roof off a house, so when I thought building material, and sometimes you look at it and you're like, can't be. But I think that's what we're looking at. I think we have
Can we
building
zoom
materials.
into, I think it was Highway 259, they said?
You're on Max 2? That's why.
I'm on
okay.
Max 2, yeah.
Yeah, you said 259.
Highway 259 in Mount Enterprise, so that's Highway 79. We have, and then there was another highway too. I forget the. Is this 259?
There's 259.
Okay, so look at this. All right, so 259, we're getting reports of through emergency management over in Mount Enterprise of multiple cars that have crashed over in Mount Enterprise. Please, if you are in Carthage, you are currently not under the tornado warning, but we're trying to give you some extra time here because it looks like it's heading right for your way. Even if it's not a tornado, it seems to have strong gusty winds and heavy rain, and that can be enough to cause an accident. So around 259, we're getting reports of some roofs missing, as well as some trees down. Emergency management's reporting a couple buildings have been destroyed out that way, and we were just looking at the debris tracker, which Brett's bringing it up now. Excuse me, looking up there we go.
Yeah.
The debris tracker that showed a wide area that kind of says, well, something got thrown aloft. And we know that we haven't had hail, and as Brett said earlier, sometimes we use a debris tracker to track bugs. Well, it's not bugs and hail for tonight. We really haven't seen it. Look at that. So Brett's putting out a debris ball. That's likely what we just had a nice little touchdown there. Possible. We don't want to say 100%. Also, over in Cushing, because I know we're getting a lot of reports out by Cushing too.
Yeah.
So that's possible, but this one's really sticking out. Where'd it go?
Yeah, the one there by Dotson.
Yeah. All right, so southeast of Dotson and
northeast of Mount Enterprise, southwest of Dotson.
Southwest of Dotson, northeast of Mount Enterprise. Likely those reports. Brett, if you could read me those roads again. This is just south of, looks like Highway 315.
Yeah, 315, 259.
Okay.
So there's Lawsonville.
Is this County Road? I saw County Road on the chat.
County Road 3175. So we'll go up here.
So is this 3175?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. So it's right.
So that's where the debris.
That's
so
what
it's northeast of Lawsonville.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we likely had a tornado, unfortunately, touch down because we have a debris ball that's being picked up on the correlation coefficient tracker here. So debris ball, likely a tornado that touched down. We're getting reports from emergency management. A spotter was out that way. And this is another area that National Weather Service may have to go out and survey for tomorrow. So we have Gilmer, Upshur County, that had some reports of some damage. Cass County, some reports of damage. Cass County was just some shingles off the roof. And this seems to be the whopper of them all. And this is very eerie because just a year ago on March 26th, Mount Enterprise, they got hit, and Carthage with a tornado. So here we are a year later, and this is pretty scary stuff. So we do have this debris signature here, or debris ball as we call it. Notice how it kind of sticks out from the rest of the colors. It's this dark blue color, indicating that this is something. And then on top of that, this is exactly the road that they're saying that, what are they saying in the chat, Brett? That they have roofs off and, a couple cars crashed in that area. So this is very sad stuff, but.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at that area right there, I would think that may be a debris ball, and if that's the case, then we had a lot of damage near Mount Enterprise. And it was almost like explosive damage in terms of how fast it came about.
Right.
Because it was a cell that was rotating but wasn't showing much in the way of perhaps being on the surface. And you remember how fast it tightened up?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we were hearing reports there might have been something around Cushing, but it was unconfirmed. And then you read in the chat that Mount Enterprise had something.
Right.
And so,
It's right there.
so I think that's where it is. I can go back and operate that. Chandler is going to mic up here, and I am going to try to rest my throat.
Okay, sounds fair.
Which is a little.
I'm going to read that report again because that's exactly where we're seeing, and I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly. So that where that debris signature is, I will read it word for word. This is coming from Mount Enterprise Fire Department reporting 2 houses, major damage, 1 missing a roof on FM 2496, 2 to 3 miles west of US 259. So that's one area. And then also getting reports of multiple vehicle crashes in the area of US 84. Okay, so maybe we had the, I don't know, FM 2496.
That's north. That's west of Mount Enterprise.
Okay,
and then
okay.
where that debris ball. Of course, now the debris ball's traveled
Right.
over time. So
Okay.
so that's going to make sense that it's going to move that much. So.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go back to velocity so we can see where this little guy's going. Again, Carthage, Del Rey, it looks like that the rotation has started to broaden a little bit, although out here just north of Pine Hill kind of has me worried, which it won't let me zoom in too close. Let me see. So it looks like it wants to move a little bit up to the north here. This is around Chapman. Chapman, you should absolutely be in your safe place right now. We're getting some rotation out that way. Over by Del Rey, Carthage. Again, Carthage, you are not in the warning currently, but batter up. You need to be in your safe place right now. Please do not be on the road. Again, this is this is that tornado warning that goes until 12:30. I would not be surprised if this was expanded a little bit into the northeast. So I do want to check this out and see. All right, so hail 50%, and then tornado impact is low. But again, this hasn't been doing the best job picking up on the tornado impact in this area. It did a better job in Upshur County. But all right, Chandler's ready to hop on the saddle here. And
Sweet. Here I am. Yeah, no.
He's ready. All right, he's going to help me out. So, all right. So Chandler, let's zoom out and see what we have just going on and just recap everything. We have Rusk County that's currently under the tornado warning, Panola County that's under the tornado warning. We also have a flash flood warning, severe thunderstorm warning. Counties included in the severe thunderstorm warning would be Gregg, Harrison, Smith, Upshur. The flash flood warning includes Gregg, Upshur, Smith counties. Give me 1 second.
It looks like it froze up there. I was just trying to get it reset.
That's all right. We've been having problems with these computers all night. Hold on, everybody.
Okay, looks like it's starting to come back there.
Yeah, so Matt, we were going back and forth between Max. I think this one has been freezing, but you can try
Okay.
to get on that one. But that's why right now they have it up on Max 2.
Gotcha.
So if you want to switch over to Max 1, just let them know. But I do want to go over when you get all settled there.
Okay.
So sometimes these things happen. So we're currently switching over Carthage. You guys are now inside the tornado warning. Okay, so this has been expanded a little bit. Chandler Jordan is kind of getting the computers kind of balanced out here. Again, we have 2 computers that we've been working on. So Brett's taking a little bit of a breather. Chandler's getting acclimated over there. Our computers are also getting acclimated, and we're trying to update you with the latest information. So
Would we be able to switch over to Max 1? There
all
we
right,
go.
so there we go.
There we go. Sweet.
Okay, they got us. All right, so this tornado warning that we've been talking about, that Carthage, we've been warning you. You are now included in the tornado warning. This goes until 12:45. It includes Harrison, Panola, Rusk counties. This storm, we believe, may have produced a tornado. We have reports of some damage in the Mount Enterprise area, which is very eerie. This is about a year anniversary from last year's storm. It's a bruised area. Carthage, you guys are also part of that bruised area. Same storm this time last year. You had damage, and I know a lot of you are recovering from this right now. So please, 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 if you are in your safe place, that's good news. We want you to be in an interior room, away from any windows. A bathroom works well. Have something on top of your head. It sounds corny, but put a helmet on top of the kids. If they have a baseball helmet, anything to protect their head. Most injuries are caused from flying debris. So please, please, please listen to us. This is what we have going on right now. So this will likely expire, this one just south of, just west and south of Pine Hill. But then we have this tornado warning that has been expanded into Harrison, Panola, and Rusk counties. And Chandler, let's put it into motion a little bit to see kind of how this is spinning here. If we're getting
I got
any.
you. I'm going to slow down the loop here, and then there we go.
All right, so yeah, there's a little bit of turning going on in here, and again, we're going to keep tracking this for you. Looks like it's trying to dig in. There's frequent lightning out there as well. And then, of course, we have other areas that have been of interest. A severe thunderstorm warning over in Smith County, Gregg County covered in that. We also have a flash flood warning in Smith and Gregg County. So we have some training storms that are moving in. And then, Chandler, if we could look at velocity again, see if this has started to tighten up at all as it moves towards Carthage, which kudos to Chandler. He came in early. He has to do the morning loop, and he's just jumping in here. This has been a long night for all of us. We have been on the air now for hours, but we want to make sure all of you are safe. So
Machine is frozen up here.
it's okay.
Let's see.
We've been on the air for a long time. So again, Panola County, Rusk County, you guys are still under this tornado warning, and you need to take shelter and be careful. Carthage is included in this. Carthage is an area that was bruised by the storms last year. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Gregg, Harrison, Upshur counties, Smith County. We also have a flash flood warning for those areas. That severe thunderstorm warning is also hatched, which means that, well, we could see a tornado also pop up in that area that is under the severe thunderstorm warning, which we've seen over in Gregg and Upshur counties. Those are two other areas that potentially had a touchdown or, something move by, because we saw a little bit of debris in those areas too. And we have reports. We have reports in Cass County with some shingles off. So these storms have been packing a punch all night long. And again, we've been on the air for a very long time, and we apologize, but we want everybody to be safe. All right, here we are on the velocity radar, and we are seeing some reds and greens go together. Is this the National Weather Service colors? Some of the colors are a little bit better than others, but we're not seeing anything too tight right now, which is some good news. But again, this is for Harrison, Panola, and Rusk counties, and this goes until 12:45. All right, so maybe this area right here could be a little funky. Yeah, that's pretty broad. So we want to see these areas like pretty close together and on top of one another, but
yeah, it looks like, switch over to the National Weather Service velocity table. But yeah, it looks like maybe some broader rotation near Pine Hill, just to the north and west of Dotson as well. But I'm going to switch back over to the reflectivity for us. And, that's the wrong table. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty broad. Maybe if we go back in time a little bit, kind of see where it's coming from. Oh yeah,
see it has like a little
bit of a notch, yeah, near maybe there near Pine Hill, going into toward the north and east, towards in between Beckville and Carthage.
Right. Okay. All right. So maybe if we put like a little bit of a track on this and see where this is going, maybe 40. I
think it's northeast at 35 miles per hour. Okay, that's.
All right, so some areas here shortly before 12:30 midnight, Beckville, Grand Bluff, Elysian Fields, I apologize.
Elysian.
Elysian, okay, I apologize. People are probably cursing at me on TV, and I'm sorry. 1:06 a.m. Panola, 1:15 Jonesville. Again, these are areas that are under that polygon, the tornado warning that goes until 12:45. Not seeing the tightest rotation right now, but we've had a history. This looks a little groovy right there. So we are keeping our eye on. This is a storm that, again, just caused some damage just outside of Mount Enterprise. Possibly a tornado that did touch down. This is still a radar-indicated tornado-warned storm, and that goes on for, well, we're still in this for a couple more minutes till 12:45, so we have about 25 minutes left. So again, we are looking for some rotation, not seeing anything too tight right now. Maybe if we could go back to the debris tracker and see if we're seeing anything new. We did see that very well-defined debris signature, that debris ball. It looks like over in...
back in time a little bit. You can see it maybe just to the south and west of Carthage.
Yeah. This is likely what we had earlier. Well, there's the Dotson, and then coming out from Pine Hill, It keeps popping back up.
Yeah, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a little bit of weakening
Yeah, that would be great. We would love that. But again, and we still have this hatched area. What's going on with the severe thunderstorm warning? We haven't checked on those in a while. So again, Harrison, Panola, Rusk County, we're not seeing the tightest rotation right now. Carthage, DeBary, Tatum, you should all be in your safe place. Still a lot of heavy rain out there too. We have some training storms that will be moving through the area overnight. That's likely to cause some flooding concerns into tomorrow morning. That's why we do have this flash flood watch, which is a small area right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if this area got expanded. And remember, a flash flood is when you have a significant amount of rain in a short period of time, and the ground just can't keep up. Now, there are a lot of areas across East Texas that are prone to flooding, especially over in Gregg County, Smith County, Upshur County. So, of course, you want to let us know, Angelina County, if you're seeing any flooding in your area. Not yet. Tomorrow, when things are deemed safe, because we still have one tornado warning, and then we have a severe thunderstorm warning with hatching on it, which means that tornadoes are still possible. They haven't taken that hatching off. Hatching is those black lines. It basically means that, well, in this situation, we have a 10% probability or greater to see a tornado form out of any severe thunderstorms within this hatch box. So the National Weather Service, they're the ones that issue these alerts, and they're probably seeing something. So here's the latest storm that Chandler keeps going over. It looks like it's digging in a little bit here, just outside of Tatum by a couple miles. Carthage so far not seeing heavy rain, but again, we want Carthage to be on alert, especially if we get any of this coming out from Pine Hill. But it looks like it's generally going more towards the northwest there, or northeast.
Yeah, I switched over to the velocity product. It's pretty hard to tell on radar right now where the best rotation is. Maybe some broader rotation just to the north here of Del Rey, possibly. Maybe like in this area right here is what they're keeping an eye out for. And there's also, it looks like maybe some reds and greens starting to blend near Beckville as well.
Okay, all right.
Here, maybe we can try the debris tracker again and see if there's a better scan that's popped up recently. But it looks like looks to be pretty broad, at least. There were, like you were saying a little bit earlier, near going back in time near Pine Hill. Once we see the data load in, there is a little bit of an area where there are some greens popping up, so maybe there was a brief flash of debris there. But for the most part, it looks like this tornado-warned storm continuing to move off to the northeast, and there could be some signs of weakening, which of course is always some great news. And things that we root for in these types of situations. But as Colleen had mentioned, it looks like there is a little bit of a notch of inflow, which is just some air making its way into the storm as it tries to re-strengthen. And we've definitely seen already all throughout the night. I woke up to the tornado warning that passed through Smith County at about 10:30 this morning, or this evening. I guess we're now into
Your
this
morning. Yeah.
But yeah, so maybe keeping a close eye out on this area here as this continues to move more off to the north and east. I can throw on a storm track for you, Colleen.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Off to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour.
And Chandler was just talking about that inflow, which kind of repeating itself here. We've seen other storms throughout the area also having the same kind of features where it kind of flows in and then it starts to get a little bit of a tighter rotation. So if this did, this particular area that we have our eye on, just because, as Chandler was just explaining, we have some wind being pulled in there, if that continued along that track, which Chandler's going to put up those towns again, this is what we'd be looking at as far as the timing goes. So he's going to go ahead and time that out for us and see. Right now it's areas that are fairly quiet, but they're under the tornado warning. So Grand Bluff, shortly after 12:36. I'm going to say the name of this town wrong again, Chandler, so I'm going to let you cover that one.
Elysian Fields.
Elysian Fields. I need to visit there, I guess. And Wascom?
Yeah, Wascom.
I learned that one last year. So Wascom is one of those areas last year, right? That was hit by, also had some strong storms. Wascom, over in Mount Enterprise, also Carthage. So these are all areas that, I'm sure there's people out there that are still recovering and still trying to make amends from the storm that rolled through the area last year. I remember going through some of that damage, and so of course we would hate to see history repeat itself, but again, this is an area that we have an interest on, and it looks like this notch got a little bit more well-defined there. So
Yeah, it did. The latest update from National Weather Service out of Shreveport. They're keeping a close eye out on this storm. They were briefly worried about the correlation coefficient, or which pretty much the product or debris tracker that shows the possibility of debris being in the area, and that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. If we switch back to that and go back, I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see Pine Hill. But if you notice, when we get towards the scan near Pine Hill, those brief flashes of yellow that you see there on your screen just to the north and east of Pine Hill, and then that eventually making its way to the more to the north and east. It looks like, though, it's kind of actually weakened, which is of course some good news. And now Brandon with the National Weather Service at Shreveport saying that he's not seeing really any indication of what would be the possibility of more debris being flown into the air from this particular tornado-warned storm, which is some good news for sure.
all right.
I'll switch back over to reflectivity. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see as far as where we might have the best signs of rotation. I'm also going to pull out the phone radar here and see if I can get a better idea on that, if maybe there's a better area to keep an eye out for. It still looks like the best area to see maybe any type of rotation, Colleen, appears to be near Beckville now. There's some reds and greens trying to get together there, but as you can see, still the rotation, though, looking pretty broad. That's near State Highway 149, and that looks like it'll continue to move off to the north and east again. So, Colleen, I can put another storm track on that for you. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can get more of the polygon. There, and off to the north and east at about 35 miles per hour.
All right, yeah. So again, some of the towns that we keep naming on your screen here: Grand Bluff, Elysian Fields, Wascom, Greenwood, and Latex. All going to see possibly strong storms in the area that, well, could rotate. It's trying to, but right now it's pretty broad. So again, these areas, bottom line is that you are under a tornado warning. So, we could dissect this all we want, but you are under a tornado warning, and we have to take this pretty seriously, because don't forget, we're also hundreds of miles away from the radar site. So sometimes things are a little bit delayed, and we are looking at these storms that have been rain wrapped tonight. It's dark out. We also live in the piney woods, so sometimes those trees are a little bit, that's why we really rely so hard on that debris tracker, because we have these big pine trees surrounding us, and if it's rain wrapped and it's dark out, it's very hard for a spotter, which we rely very heavily on, to see these storms. Yeah, that's why it's a little bit more difficult at night, and that's why we really have to examine things in all different ways here. So it looks like they just cut off a hunk of that tornado warning that was over Pine Hill. So Pine Hill, you can come out of your hiding place now, or your safe place, or the place that you're taking shelter at, whatever you want to call it. You are now in the clear. I would imagine that Beckville, not too long from now, will also be in the clear. It looks like things are trying to shape up there. Although, don't get out of your space quite yet, but just be aware that things are starting to improve out that way. And then, Chandler, are they saying anything else on the chat?
Pretty much when you saw that the polygon was taken out, they're just continuing the warning, not extending it, just continuing it until 12:45, still keeping an eye on a broad area of rotation near Beckville, capable of producing a tornado, and this is continuing to move off to the northeast. It's actually picked up a little bit of steam, now moving at 40 to 45 miles per hour.
Okay.
So we can put on another storm track. But yeah, over the last couple of scans, it looks like the rotation is broadening, which is always, of course, some great news, and we'll put on another storm track here off to the north and east. A little more juice on it. Okay, there.
All right, so putting the pedal to the metal a little bit more. So, that might be a good sign, because it could be getting out of here a little bit faster. We would like to see that, but Beckville, Grand Bluff, Elysian Fields, Wascom, Greenwood, and I need some glasses. Flournoy. You should all be in your safe place right now. You are under a tornado warning, which includes Harrison. Harrison County has been added to the tornado warning. Panola and Rusk counties. So I believe this is the only tornado warning that we have right now. We had one in Cass, which I would imagine is over by the Arklatext.
Yeah, that one continued to move off to the north and east here. I can zoom out for you, and we
Yeah,
can
let's
switch
recap,
back over
everybody.
to reflectivity. Let me get back to that for you. There we go.
All right, yeah, so we've been on the air since shortly before 9 p.m., and we're not getting off the air until these tornado warnings are wrapped up. I know, I'm sorry, sometimes that annoys people if it's not in your area and you're saying, we're in the clear. But unfortunately, other people in our area, you have to be considerate. They are now under a tornado warning. So we have to make sure that we're getting that reliable information out to them. People that have been added to the tornado warning would be Harrison County. Pinole and Rusk has been under this warning for quite some time. And as Chandler Jordan was just saying, the National Weather Service is kind of letting this warning run its course, which would go for another 15 minutes until 12:45. Right now, they're not seeing anything where they would extend the warning. But again, these storms have a system of, or have a history of kind of reforming down the line. Now, in addition to this tornado warning, we also have that severe thunderstorm warning, which may have been dropped just now. If so, that's great. It just expired. Beautiful. Okay, so severe thunderstorm warning, that's another one. We can knock it off the list. Also, flash flood warning, that goes until 2 a.m. I wouldn't be surprised if they expired that one soon too, because it looks like things are starting to quiet down. The heaviest of rain is now moved out of here for Tyler and Gilmer, Greg Smith, Wood counties that are included in that. Chandler Jordan is zooming back in on this tornado warning. So Chandler, you have anything to share? This, again, this is that area that we've been watching. You can see that inflow right there. So.
Yeah, Brandon at the National Weather Service out of Shreveport, he was recently saying that the severe thunderstorm warning is going to be allowed to expire, which we just saw that come off the map, as you had mentioned. Also, they're going to keep the tornado warning a little bit longer. They said it is losing rotation, which we talked about as well, but with the recent signature that we showed you on debris tracker, they were worried about letting it go completely, so we're just going to have to see how these next few scans look as we get closer and closer to 12:45. But if we continue to see the weakening trend, it sounds like there's a possibility that they would let it go, or maybe they'd do, they'd throw a severe thunderstorm warning on it with the hatched probability, just in case, we were to see some other type of signature come back from that.
Okay, awesome. Well, that is something that we like to hear. Now, as far as the rest of the night goes, and into tomorrow, we have a lot of these warnings that are starting to expire. The severe thunderstorm warning that we had for Gregg, Smith County, Upshur County has expired just moments ago, so that's some good news, but there's a but. We're still looking at some heavy rain out there. And remember, flooding can occur 6 hours after an event. After a heavy rainfall event, those waters can rise, especially in those small creeks, rivers, streams. When you get some runoff, you may get runoff from those houses or wherever it may be. And that's when you can get some flash flooding. So the next couple hours, you still want to be on that flash flood alert. We have that flash flood watch that goes until the early morning hours. Chandler is going back to the velocity radar here to see if we can pick up on any tightening, any rotation.
It's pretty loose. It doesn't really look like it's hard. It's hard to find any type of rotation here.
Since we're winding thing, I think we'll have that last severe thunderstorm or tornado warning expire here in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of say what? Oh, we're on mute. Oh, we're on mute. Oh, there we go. It was muted. All right. So see, I try to come back in for the finale, and then look what happens. All right. Colleen Campbell holding down the fort here for the last half hour, getting us through these last parts of the tornado warning that's now moving through out of Panola County toward Elysian Fields and up to the northeast toward Bethany, DeBerry, and right in here, very broad rotation right now. And as Chandler was pointing out, and I think Colleen was talking about, they're going to go ahead and let this expire. Chandler, let's widen things out. It's time to reset the table here. We got about 10 minutes left before this expires. That's some range folding there, so we're simply looking at the radar signal being bent back to the earth, and we can't kind of pick out what's going on there. That's a flash flood warning. Smith County, Upshur County, Wood County, Gregg County till 2 a.m. That's another part of this story. That's going to continue, and I think the flash flood warnings will become more numerous now as we head into deep East Texas during the overnight hours. Tornado warning here in Panola County. Also looks like maybe a portion of Marion County. I think that's also in that until 12:45. Harrison, Panola, and Rusk. So you got just that little sliver of Rusk. But let me tell you, if you're in Rusk County, you're good to go for the rest of the night. I think most of us, except now for the flash flooding, the heavy rainfall, the constant rain, the thunder, the lightning from Jacksonville to Palestine, and this is where this training is now going to take place. So training sounds exactly like what we say when it's a train track. So it's like a train of moisture just coming right over those same areas. And so that will add up to some very heavy rainfall here in the next few minutes. So we're on for about 10 more minutes. We don't expect this severe thunderstorm or tornado warning to be expanded past that. But let's bring you up to date on what we've seen so far tonight. We've had reports of tornado warnings in parts of Upshur County to the east, southeast of Gilmer. So that was storm number 1. That was a cell that we started to track out of Freestone County that was moving into Anderson County. That cell sort of split as it moved across Smith County. Part of that cell moved up into Wood County. Part of that cell moved across the city of Tyler. There was a report from the Loop 49 of seeing a power flash up to the northeast of Tyler. Now that might have been the cell that was up toward the Gilmer area. That was at about 9:30, I think, tonight. All right, so that cell then moved from Gilmer over toward Ore City, eventually up toward Avenger. That cell also may have produced a couple of different tornadoes in and around that area. We had debris signatures southeast side of Gilmer and then out toward Avenger. Then we started to look back to the southwest. We had a cell near Austin, Texas tonight that tracked to Bryan, tracked across Madisonville, and then moved into Houston County. So it was tornado warned into Houston County, so then we started covering that. Then it moved into Cherokee County, and it showed a tight rotation, at least on radar, but it was broad, at least according to the National Weather Service. And the radar signature, which looked like it was a tight rotation, may have been broad, but it may have been also looking or scanning into the cloud at about 7,500 feet. So at 7,500 feet, yeah, it could have looked tight, but it was more or less a broad rotation at the surface.
Hey,
but
Brett.
Here's why we always have to stay with these storms. As it moved into southern Rusk County, it recycled and strengthened. Yes, Chandler?
I just wanted to give a really quick update. Dallas-Fort Worth National Weather Service office has allowed the tornado watch to expire for Anderson County and Henderson County, as well as a few other counties that are out of our viewing area. So those of you in Anderson and Henderson County are all clear from the tornado watch. Still got to worry about some heavier rain as well. And it looks like indications from our friends at the National Weather Service at Shreveport as well. Looks like they're going to allow for the tornado warning to expire here. Maybe like they do in the past, you know, throw one of those severe thunderstorm warning tags on it. And then from there with the hatch probability, just in case we were to see some tightening of the rotation again.
Yeah, exactly. So this will just be allowed to expire here in the next 7.5 minutes. So we're just going to stay on until it expires, and then we'll go back to regular programming.
We were getting someone in the booth was letting me know, one of our producers said we have some pretty good footage from Mount Enterprise if we wanted to get that pulled up and show that.
Oh, wow, look at this.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we have, that is that looks like some sort of outbuilding.
You said that's Mount Enterprise, right, Justin?
This is FM 2496 west of Highway 259. That looks like heavy damage to a building. Again, this is Mount Enterprise. If you're looking at this right now, Amado Angeli Lopez and Alan Casper were down in that area, and that looks like, boy, hopefully they were sheltered or out of that structure. We hope or pray that everybody was okay. All right, that looks like, certainly an outbuilding toppled over. It looks like Alan is now kind of going back toward another portion. There's a house. It looks like that. I can't tell if that house has been damaged. It looks like roofing, shingles. Look at that building there, Chandler.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it might have been a mobile home. Maybe a tree that was just shredded from the leaves. So again, we were picking up a heavy debris signature coming out of the Cushing area toward Mount Enterprise. This would be the second year in a row that parts of Mount Enterprise have been hit by a tornado in March. So unfortunately, just sometimes things repeat, and this is one of those situations. So now we're going to be concerned about flash flooding, and we still have that flash flood warning going until 2 a.m. So we're about 6 minutes away. We're just going to ride this out with you. The severe thunderstorm warnings are gone. The tornado warning still exists for Panola County, but there seems to be less of a concern that this is going to suddenly spin up something. Though we'll keep an eye on it for you. The National Weather Service, though, Chandler Jordan is saying that they are going to let this just sort of, because the rotation's broad or it looks like it's weakened. And at about, let's see, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Certainly, the upper level winds that supported these tornadoes earlier this evening have sort of outrun the system now. So that means that we still have some stronger winds aloft that are going to help to enhance the rainfall amounts, but perhaps not cause these spin-ups that we've seen. So we know of at least 2 tornadoes. There may have been 3 or 4 across East Texas tonight, but we know of at least 2, and 2 with damage. And we had some unconfirmed reports, I think, of some injuries near Gilmer. And I did see an unconfirmed report of. Okay, so we got a few minutes. Let's go to Marangeli Lopez. She is live at Mount Enterprise. Rain still coming down there. Mara, it looks like we have some damage, and it looks significant in some parts.
That's right, Brett. It is just devastating what we're seeing right now. Like you mentioned, we are in Mount Enterprise. I want to give you perspective. We're on a county road. It's called 2496 here. This is a home, and you can see the damage just everywhere. Debris all over on its side, and there's just emergency management crews all over. Trees uprooted just up and down this road as far as the eye can see. What we're taking a look at, our photographer Alan is actually moving around right now, and he is seeing just everything that y'all are seeing right now. If you can even see, there are trees down, and I think they're kind of pulling out right now. They're going up and down the road, the emergency management crews. They actually rescued this woman from this home. I could see her coming out right now. But of course, lots of damage here, and really, we're not going to be able to see the scope of everything until I think daylight comes around. People have been reporting that there is a home on another county road that the roof is just off of it, so definitely something strong whipped through here. This woman is just devastated. She's just on her front porch right here, and this house is just kind of to its side. There's a lot of debris back there, definitely, as you can see, the devastation of this storm. I'm going to send things back to you, Brett. We're going to kind of regroup and see what's going on here. The Rusk County Sheriff just pulled up. We did have a conversation. He was over at his brother's house, and he said that lots of trees are twisted over there where he's at, but he just arrived. Maybe we can get some more clearer picture of all of the debris and all the devastation in the county here in Rusk County. I'm going to send things back to y'all in the studio. Reporting here in Mount Enterprise, I'm Marangeli Lopez, CBS 19.
All right, Marangeli, thank you very much, and stay safe out there, please. We know that at least the worst of it has passed, as we have now looking at flash flood warnings, parts of Smith County, Gray County. This is the cell that she was reporting that did the damage in southern parts of Rusk County near Mount Enterprise, and she was showing you some of that damage. And we were wondering just how extensive or how much of that road we were going to see when the day breaks, that we'll see amounts of damage. I think there's going to be a lot more damage than what we just saw there.
Hey, Brett.
Up in Upshur County. Yeah, Chandler.
Just a couple of updates. One, Brandon from the National Weather Service at Shreveport, another update a couple minutes ago. He said leaning towards letting the tornado warning expire here in 3 minutes and replacing it with a severe thunderstorm warning, and I imagine they'd probably also put the hatched area on it, just since it has the history of producing a rotation that could produce a tornado. Another update as well from emergency manager Michael Searcy. Major damage, 2000 block of FM 2496 West, search and rescue underway in the area. 15,000 block of US 259 South, several trees down, also lots of trees down in the 10,000 block of FM 840 southeast of Henderson. So they're trying to coordinate operations there and doing what they can for those search and rescue operations.
Southeast of Henderson, between Henderson and Mount Enterprise?
Yes,
Okay.
FM 840 southeast of Henderson.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we might have seen damage that far to the northwest of Mount Enterprise.
We did briefly, with this tornado warning storm about 20-30 minutes ago, we did have a brief, what looked to be a brief TDS signature drop, but it went away really quickly on the debris tracker.
Okay, yeah. And so, this certainly does not look like the structure that these cells have had earlier tonight.
It doesn't.
So we're probably just about a minute away. So what we're going to do is we'll allow this to expire. Again, Chandler mentioned that this is going to be replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. That certainly means it's still serious, but what it means is that they're not anticipating, at least, or not tracking current circulations that could possibly spin up a tornado. So we'll stay on here for another couple of minutes. This polygon will disappear, and then we will just kind of wrap up our coverage, and then we will break in as necessary throughout the night, especially as we transition over now to some heavy rainfall. And heavy rainfall can also be a concern for folks traveling overnight and early tomorrow morning. What we now have to start to think about is we've gotten through the rough part of the night in terms of the damage, and now we have to think about when we're driving tomorrow, if we see deep water, what we want to do is turn around. We don't want to try to drive through that. The water can be also deadly.
We got another update as well from
update?
Michael. He says they're heading to Panola County, 6,000 block of US 79 between Carthage and Henderson, which is in the ballpark of the area where we saw the brief TDS signature. They have reported damage and entrapment, so they're sending another crew there as well.
It's going to be in the Carthage area?
Yeah, so if we go back in time just a little bit, we did have the signature briefly. I'll get this pulled up, and then I'll put up the debris tracker.
Yeah.
We briefly had a signature near Carthage that, as we go through back in time, maybe these greens that are popping up near Carthage here, that could be what was possibly the signature they were going for.
Yeah, that might have been. I mean, that's, yeah, okay.
And then it weakens.
Those signatures that were over near Mount Enterprise were, as Colleen can tell you, really impressive. I mean, we were seeing blue. I mean, usually blue tells me building material.
And there went the warning.
So there goes the warning. Okay, so that means it's time for us to wrap up our coverage. We're going to wrap up our coverage now. We appreciate your time, your patience with us here tonight, and your attention as we go and work our way through all of these severe thunderstorm watches and warnings. This is going to be one more severe thunderstorm warning. I'll update this for us here, and we'll point this out for you. Chandler, can you click on that? That's going to just be, I think it's the thunderstorm warning, yeah, right there, for Marion, Harrison, and Panola County. That's going to go until 1:30, and I don't even see the hatch in there. So
yeah, I guess the rotation broadened enough that they didn't want to worry about that.
Yeah, so that's going to move on out of there. So from here, we'll transition to the heavy rainfall. Let's widen everything out, put this into motion for everybody so they can kind of get a feel for where we're going next with this. You can see the training rainfall from the southwest to the northeast across the area. Again, we thank you for watching us tonight. We hope we were able to keep everybody safe across East Texas. We know it was a rough night. We know we'll have follow-up stories on this tomorrow. We'll be able to glean more information. Hopefully everyone had their plan in place and we were able to shelter. But again, we thank you. We hope you have a safe rest of your night. For meteorologist Chandler Jordan, meteorologist Colleen Campbell, I'm Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony. Have a great evening.
The best almond milk. Blue Diamond Almond Breeze.
Whoever you are, you have a style. And we want to help you own it. With top brands, great value, and the inspiration you need. So you can own your style.
In the jungle.
Encanto, Coda, Ted Lasso, Mayor of Easttown, and Succession were all some of the winners at this year's Producers Guild Awards.
I love these awards.
Hi, it's me again. Listen to this. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check every month may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with the benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Check your zip code. It could be dynamite. Call now.
Call 1-800-264-6407. That's 1-800-264-6407 now.
Last time you were with Montero?
Well,
backstage.
What do you understand?
Lil Nas X knew where to go to bring some heat to his new album on Maury, of course. But get ready to say goodbye to all those relationship shockers and paternity test bombshells. After 31 years, Maury Povich has decided to retire. How are you going to find out who's the baby daddy now?
What are we going to do?
Right.
But with more time, that means more time with wife Connie Chung. Now, they first met back in 1969. So cool. They both worked at the same news station, but it wasn't love at first sight. Connie, take me back for the first meeting of Maury. What was your first impression?
Actually, he was a big star at a local station in Washington, D.C. And he wouldn't pay any attention to me. I mean, I would bring a wire copy to him because I was a copy boy.
Now, you two have said that you've dated non-exclusively for many years. How did that work?
It was
great.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I bet.
7 years of total freedom, but being able to, see each other.
Hook up once in a while.
You got it. And
she dated. She was working in L.A.
You were in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was all over the place.
And you were such a bad boy.
No,
you couldn't even remember the first names, let alone the last names of the women you slept with.
Yeah, meanwhile, she's ticking off all the stars that she ended up.
Their road to tying the knot in 1984 was a bit bumpy.
So what happened was she wanted to get married. I didn't. I wanted to get married. She didn't.
Yeah.
And then finally...
It went back and forth, I got to tell you, about a half a dozen times.
Yeah, and then we went to Italy, and I really got serious. And I asked her, she said no. And then about 3 weeks later, she called me up, and she says, we can get married now. And I said, why? She says, because I found a dress.
I had to make sure I had something to wear. You know what I mean?
What is the key?
Well...
We have different views on that. I say